Chapter 4280. As expected of the Crown Prince of the Dao Saint Palace. He's just too powerful. Moreover, it seems like he has already broken through to the bodiless immortal realm. That's right. For an expert like Di Jue to break through to the bodiless immortal realm, I wonder how terrifying his combat strength is. Don't tell me he can deal with those human immortal realm experts? Everyone was discussing Di Jue, and they were all deeply shocked. Di Jue was indeed too powerful. He was so powerful that everyone could not help but be aghast. Currently, in the eyes of countless people, Di Jue was definitely a godlike figure. He stood there. He was eternal and immortal. Lin Feng raised his brows slightly. Di Jue was indeed more terrifying than any of the geniuses he had seen before. For example, Lin Feng felt that Gong Xinye, Gong Ziyu, Netherchild, Huang Fu Qingtian, and the other geniuses were not comparable to Di Jue. If he did not use the power of his external incarnation, Lin Feng knew he was definitely not a match for Di Jue. This was because Di Jue was a genius who was similar to him. However, Di Jue had cultivated for a few decades longer than Lin Feng. His cultivation base was much higher than Lin Feng's. This was Di Jue's huge advantage. Although Lin Feng could challenge those with higher cultivation bases, a genius like Di Jue was obviously an exception. Lin Feng could not challenge a genius like Di Jue. If I combine the power of my external incarnation, Overlord's armor, and the Golden Dwarf, I wonder who will emerge victorious between me and Di Jue? Lin Feng muttered to himself. Of course, if Di Jue also had an external incarnation or a technique to increase his strength, it would be even more difficult to deal with him. Lin Feng was also very clear about this. He was definitely in existence so terrifying that no one would be willing to provoke him. Di Jue refined the origin source of the dead Saint Devil into a Saint Devil fruit before putting it away. Then, he walked into the distance. Soon, Di Jue disappeared from everyone's sight. Di Jue will definitely become a true immortal in the future. A true immortal is an extremely rare powerhouse even in the era of titled gods. With Di Jue's innate talent, once he becomes a true immortal, he'll definitely be an existence that shakes the heavens. Many people were exclaiming and sighing with emotion. Even though Di Jue had already left, the focus of everyone's discussion was still Di Jue. How great would it be if I could become Di Jue's woman? I heard that Di Jue likes to collect beauties the most. I wonder if he will take a fancy to me? I also want to become Di Jue's woman. Although he has 3,000 beauties in his harem, I don't mind becoming one of them. Many female cultivators also began to discuss. This world was originally a male-dominated world. Although there were also top-notch experts among the female cultivators, there were too few of them after all. In a patriarchal world, powerful men were too attractive to women. For example, the myriad immortal palace established by Di Jue was filled with beauties. Some of the beauties were snatched away by Di Jue after he took a liking to them. Some of the beauties were taken over by Di Ju through various threats and promises. However, there were also some beauties who took the initiative to throw themselves at him. This was because Di Jue was simply too powerful. Since ancient times, beauties loved heroes. Although Di Jue could not be considered a good person or a hero, he was so powerful despite his young age. With his noble background, he was definitely an ambitious and ruthless character. After Di Jue left, the surrounding cultivators gradually dispersed as well. Lin Feng, on the other hand, continued to search for the whereabouts of the sacred devils. Lin Feng estimated that if he could obtain 8 or 9 sacred devil fruits, he would be able to make another breakthrough in his cultivation base. Currently, Lin Feng had 5 sacred devil fruits in his possession. He still needed to kill 3 or 4 more sacred devils before he could obtain them. The blood refinement starfield was not peaceful. This was the place where the sacred devils gathered. Therefore, many cultivators were attacked by the sacred devils, and a large number of cultivators were massacred. Lin Feng saw many dried corpses. He checked the dried corpses in the mountain forest and found that the blood of the cultivators had been sucked dry. All the dead cultivators had their blood sucked dry. Was this done by the sacred devils? Lin Feng could not help but frown. He felt that something was amiss. Currently, cultivators from the starry sky world were still constantly entering the blood refinement starfield. The cultivators who could enter the blood refinement starfield were usually very powerful. Their flesh, blood, and soul essences were extremely powerful and played a crucial role in a cultivator's cultivation. It would not be a big deal if the sacred devils had simply absorbed the cultivator's blood. However, if the sacred devils had not absorbed the cultivator's blood, this matter would be terrifying. Lin Feng frowned. He felt that it was indeed strange that these cultivators had turned into dried corpses after they died. Was there a deeper reason behind this? Of course. Perhaps it was just as he suspected. There was a deeper reason behind this matter. However, these were not things that Lin Feng should be thinking about right now. Moreover, Lin Feng could not be bothered with these things. What he needed to do now was to kill as many sacred devils as possible and refine them into sacred devil fruits. He would then refine the sacred devil fruits to break through his cultivation base. If something terrible really happened to the blood refinement great world, he would just have to pat his butt and leave. More and more sacred devils appeared. A large number of sacred devils were killed. Of course, many cultivators were also killed by those sacred devils. 500 miles away, a large group of cultivators was besieging 3 sacred devils. These cultivators were a temporary alliance formed by the 3 groups of cultivators. One of the forces was actually the group of cultivators from the Undying Realm that Lin Feng had seen before. The blue-robed female cultivator was called Ling Yin, and the shrewish female cultivator was called Qiu Zishi. There was also the young master leading the group called Wei Limo. The strength of these people was not ordinary. Together with the other 2 groups of cultivators, they launched wave after wave of attacks against the 3 sacred devils. The 3 sacred devils gradually lost their strength and were unable to break out of the encirclement. In the end, the 3 sacred devils were killed by these people, and the cultivators of these 3 forces each collected a sacred devil's essence. Then, they refined the sacred devil's essence into a sacred devil fruit. Next, they put away the sacred devil fruit. It was likely that they would wait until the end to distribute it. Just as these people were about to search for the other sacred devils, devil chi suddenly covered the sky in the distance. A sacred devil flew over. Just in time, the group of people sneered. They flew towards the devil chi in the distance. The devil chi bombarded the dozens of cultivators. Bang, bang, bang. The cultivators collided with the surging devil chi, and one by one, they were sent flying. Their faces turned pale. The rolling demonic aura was simply too terrifying. There was definitely an extremely powerful sacred demon within the demonic aura. Not good. The cultivators' faces changed drastically. They turned around and fled, but the devil chi spread out and enveloped the dozens of cultivators, trapping them in the devil chi. Sensing the terrifying atmosphere of coercion radiating out from the demonic energy, the cultivators there could not stop themselves from revealing looks of shock. Chapter 4281. Everyone, be careful. An extremely powerful sacred demon will definitely appear. However, as long as we work together, we will definitely be able to overcome this crisis together. A beautiful woman said in a deep voice. This beautiful woman belonged to one of the 3 major factions. Moreover, she was the leader of this faction. The faction that the beautiful woman belonged to also came from the Undying Realm. As for the 3rd faction, they were from the Dao Saint Starfield's misty cloud planet. There were many subimmortal cultivators in these 3 factions. Therefore, their strength was extremely powerful. In addition, they had many Dharma treasures on them. Their battle prowess was even more terrifying. However, although they were quite powerful, at this moment, everyone knew that they were in big trouble. The sacred demon in the demonic chi was too powerful. In the demonic chi stood a sacred demon that was more than 3 meters tall. This sacred demon's aura was extremely terrifying. These sacred demons also had differences in strength. For example, the first sacred demon that Lin Feng had killed previously had the power of time and space. This sacred demon was one of the more powerful sacred demons. Other than this burly sacred demon, there were 7 other powerful sacred demons standing in the demonic chi. They coldly looked at the cultivators of the 3 major factions. Kill them all. Leave no one alive. The leading sacred demon waved his hand and gave the order. The relationship between these sacred demons and the cultivators of the various factions was one of mutual hunting. Both sides treated each other as prey. As the saying went, only the fittest would survive. Whoever was stronger would have the last laugh. Those who were weak were destined to become the prey of these sacred demons. During this period of time, about 200 to 300 of these holy devils had perished. However, the number of cultivators who had died was even more. For example, when they attacked the 4 sacred demons, they had lost close to 10,000 cultivators. That was only the tip of the iceberg. All the cultivators who had died added up to at least 50 to 60,000 people. Of course, compared to the vast sea of cultivators, the loss of 50 to 60,000 people did not seem to be too serious of a loss. Cultivators from all over the universe were rushing to the Undying Realm from all directions. As the last starfield that led to the Undying Realm, the Dao Saint starfield had too many cultivators gathered here. It could be said that this place was full of crouching tigers and hidden dragons. Although these 3 forces were extremely powerful, they had no problem dealing with ordinary sacred demons. However, they were still lacking when compared to the leading sacred fiend. Moreover, this sacred fiend had brought along 7 powerful sacred fiends. The 7 sacred demons attacked the cultivators of the 3 major forces. Not long ago, the cultivators from the 3 great powers had fought against the other 3 sacred demons for a very long time. Thus, they had consumed quite a lot of energy. There was a huge gap between his combat strength and his peak. Now that he was facing the 7 holy demons, he was instantly suppressed. The leading sacred devil didn't even make a move to suppress the cultivators of the 3 great powers. The cultivators from the 3 powers tried to break out of the encirclement of the 7 great holy demons, but their efforts all ended in failure even though they had the advantage in numbers. But he was still unable to break out. Instead, it was the 7 holy demons who displayed their might. Puff, puff, puff. Ripping sounds rang out incessantly. As the ripping sounds rang out, one cultivator after another was killed. Those cultivators died extremely miserably. These sacred demons were all masters who killed without batting an eyelid. As time passed, more and more people died, and the situation of the cultivators from the 3 great powers became more and more difficult. 2 hours later, more than half of the cultivators from the 3 great powers had died. There were still more than 20 people left. Even those who were lucky enough to survive were all injured at this very moment. Now, everyone couldn't help but feel a deep sense of despair in their hearts. They couldn't see any hope of escaping at all. The strength of these sacred demons was truly too terrifying. Right at this moment, a cultivator flew over from afar. This cultivator was Lin Feng. Lin Feng was passing by this place. He had been searching for traces of the sacred demons all this time. After searching for a long time, he still couldn't find them. Who would have thought that he would actually encounter a group of sacred demons here? These sacred demons seemed to have formed a group and attacked together. There seemed to be fewer sacred demons who were alone. Lin Feng indifferently glanced at the cultivators who were being attacked. Lin Feng discovered that the people who were being attacked were actually the group of people from the Undying Realm that he had seen before. This made Lin Feng quite surprised. He didn't expect to see them again here. Those people clearly saw Lin Feng and were slightly stunned. "You fool, what are you still standing there for? Why aren't you running?" Qiu Zishi shouted loudly. She wanted Lin Feng to run away quickly. Previously, Qiu Zishi had shouted at Lin Feng to kill him. Qiu Zishi had a fiery temper, but in fact, Qiu Zishi's heart was very kind. So when she saw Lin Feng appear in this place, Qiu Zishi hurriedly reminded Lin Feng to quickly leave this place. At this moment, everyone else was thinking of a way to escape. Who would pay attention to Lin Feng? However, Qiu Zishi had done so. A small matter could often reflect a person's character. When the sacred devil leader saw Lin Feng, he was slightly surprised. He was very strong and could sense Lin Feng's powerful bloodline. The sacred devil's eyes instantly lit up. If he devoured Lin Feng's bloodline, it would be equivalent to eating an all-nourishment pill. "Brat, die." The sacred devil leader directly flew towards Lin Feng. Seeing Lin Feng standing there without moving, Qiu Zishi thought that Lin Feng was scared silly. She continued to shout, "Hurry up and run. If you don't run, you'll be killed." Lin Feng didn't run. It wasn't easy to find so many sacred devils. Why would he run away? Not only did Lin Feng not run, but he also flew towards the sacred devil leader. After seeing this scene, Qiu Zishi, Wei Limo, Ling Yan, and the others all thought that Lin Feng had completely gone crazy. They didn't know how terrifying the sacred devil leader's cultivation was, but Lin Feng actually took the initiative to charge towards him. They admitted that Lin Feng's cultivation level was extremely high, but compared to the leader of the holy demons, he was still thousands of miles away. Ordinary sacred devils were basically at the subimmortal realm. In the eyes of Qiu Zishi and the others, Lin Feng's battle strength was at most on par with a subimmortal sacred devil. He was far from being a match for a subimmortal sacred devil. The sacred devils that appeared here were relatively stronger. Among the sacred devils that surrounded Qiu Zishi and the others, there were 2 first firmament loose immortal sacred devils. The remaining 5 were subimmortal sacred devils. Although Qiu Zishi and the others didn't know what cultivation realm the sacred devil leader was at, they felt that he was definitely at the 4th firmament loose immortal sacred devil. That was why his aura was so terrifying. Now that Lin Feng actually took the initiative to charge towards the powerful sacred devil, Qiu Zishi, Wei Limo, Ling Yan, and the others all thought that Lin Feng was courting death. This time, Lin Feng was doomed. Chapter 4282. Lin Feng didn't have the time to guess what others were thinking. He only wanted to kill these sacred devils and refine them into sacred devil fruits. He didn't care what others thought. Lin Feng knew how terrifying this sacred devil was, so he didn't hold back. His avatar, ruler's armor, and the golden dwarf's power all merged into his body. With such a powerful burst of power, the battle prowess he displayed was naturally heaven-defying. Besides, Lin Feng had also used the 9 heavens 10 earths supremacy skill, which was extremely powerful. Therefore, Lin Feng's battle prowess had soared to the peak. The sacred devil in the lead used the sacred devil immortal fist and punched at Lin Feng. The divine ability of this saint devil was also extremely powerful. Coupled with the fact that his cultivation level was high, the attacks he unleashed could be described as unimaginable. Bang! Under everyone's gaze, Lin Feng and the sacred devil fiercely collided. That tyrannical power spread out in all directions from the center of the collision of the 2 divine abilities. The void around the 2 of them collapsed, and a large amount of the void was constantly crumbling. This scene was truly inconceivable and appalling. The most unbelievable thing was that Lin Feng was completely fine after colliding with the sacred devil. How is this possible? Qiu Zishi, Wei Limo, Ling Yan, and the others all had expressions of disbelief. Lin Feng, such a young cultivator, had surprisingly managed to block the holy demon's terrifying attack. The 2 sides seemed to be evenly matched. How did Lin Feng do it? It was simply unimaginable. Even though they saw it with their own eyes, many people still found it unbelievable. Qiu Zishi, Wei Limo, Ling Yan, and the others were even more shocked than the beautiful woman and the others. They had crossed paths with Lin Feng before. Lin Feng had even flirted with Qiu Zishi and Ling Yan. At that time, some of them even wanted to teach Lin Feng a lesson, but they were stopped by Ling Yan. Only now did they realize how terrifying Lin Feng was. Lin Feng was so young, but the battle prowess he possessed made people involuntarily aghast. TSK, is that all you've got? If that was all he had, that's truly too disappointing. Lin Feng glanced indifferently at the leading holy demon. Upon hearing Lin Feng's contemptuous words, the leading sacred demon's eyes darkened slightly. He sneered and said, "Brat, you're too arrogant. The battle has just begun, yet you're already so arrogant. You'll be crying later." "The ignorant are fearless," Lin Feng said indifferently. The leading holy demon's mouth twitched violently. Lin Feng clearly didn't care about him at all. If he had taken him seriously, how could he have said such words? This made the holy devil leader quite angry. He was actually being looked down upon by a young human cultivator. It was simply a great humiliation. "Brat, you'll soon know how foolish your words are." The leading holy demon laughed sinisterly. A large amount of demonic energy surged out of his body. The demonic energy was extremely terrifying. The demonic energy surged, covering the sky and the sun. The leading holy demon's aura became stronger and stronger. His battle prowess was rising steadily. It seemed that this fellow hadn't used his full strength just now. Lin Feng raised his eyebrows. He had already expected this situation. However, Lin Feng was fearless. In fact, apart from his avatar, the ruler's armor, and the golden dwarf, Lin Feng had an extremely heaven-defying trump card. Lin Feng had never used it before. Lin Feng's trump card was the Magic Lotus. Although the demon spirit had only fused with the first world of the Magic Lotus, the power of the Magic Lotus had already reached the level of an itinerant immortal. Back then, Mose Tianzuan's cultivation was only at the subimmortal realm. After fusing with the Magic Lotus's power, he was already so terrifying. What about Lin Feng? If Lin Feng were to fuse with the Magic Lotus's power after fusing with his avatar, the ruler's armor, and the golden dwarf's power, at that time, Lin Feng's power would increase to an unimaginable level. It was simply unimaginable. At this moment, the leading holy demon displayed his strongest battle prowess. Meanwhile, Lin Feng began to fuse with the Magic Lotus's power. As the power of the Magic Lotus fused with Lin Feng's body, Lin Feng instantly felt the power in his body begin to increase crazily. This feeling was simply too great. Brat, I'll let you have a taste of my ultimate move. Blood, will, immortal, slaying, slash. The leading holy demon's voice suddenly rang out. Then, a blood-red vortex condensed on his palm. That blood-red vortex contained an incomparably terrifying aura. That blood-red vortex seemed to be able to shatter heaven and earth with just a slight turn. The blood-red vortex's aura was simply too powerful. Sensing the blood-red vortex's aura, many people's souls couldn't help but tremble. The leading holy demon released his peak battle prowess. That blood-red vortex pierced through the void and rapidly slashed towards Lin Feng. Everyone couldn't help but hold their breaths. They didn't know if Lin Feng could withstand that blood-red vortex's attack. Everyone's eyes were focused on this peak battle. Even the two sides couldn't be bothered to continue fighting. All of them stopped and watched the battle between the two of them. Facing the leading holy demon's terrifying attack, Lin Feng couldn't help but sneer. Lin Feng used the flower blooms with a thought, Sovereign's Descent ability. Lin Feng's body emitted a sovereign's aura. In that instant, many people were dazzled. They felt as if Lin Feng had turned into a holy emperor. Mysterious and powerful, Lin Feng's fist directly swept across that blood-red vortex. Everyone saw that. The blood-red vortex condensed by the leading holy demon was actually shattered by Lin Feng's fist. Heavens! How is this possible? The other holy demons all revealed expressions of disbelief. They knew the leading holy demon's strength. He was a powerful fifth firmament loose immortal. Now, he had used his trump card with all his strength. However, this trump card was actually broken by a young cultivator like Lin Feng. This was too inconceivable. The holy demons simply didn't dare to believe what they were seeing. He's actually so terrifying. Qiu Zixi, Wei Limo, Ling Yin, and the others couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. The battle prowess Lin Feng displayed deeply shocked their hearts. It was as if monstrous waves had been set off in their hearts. Chapter 42-83. Lin Feng didn't stop after breaking the holy demon leader's attack. Lin Feng quickly rushed towards the holy demon leader. This was the best time for the other party to deal with him. Lin Feng quickly arrived in front of the holy demon leader, and then the 6 paths of reincarnation fist directly blasted towards the holy demon leader. The power contained in this punch was simply appalling. It was impossible to imagine just how terrifying the power of this punch was. The 6 paths of reincarnation fist was originally a heaven-defying ability, and Lin Feng's battle prowess had reached an unfathomable level after fusing with his avatar, the Magic Lotus, the ruler's armor, and the golden dwarf. Therefore, the current Lin Feng was simply too powerful. On the other hand, the holy demon leader's powerful ability had just been broken by Lin Feng, and he still hadn't regained his footing. Lin Feng had already rushed over. Lin Feng didn't give him any time to catch his breath at all. The holy demon felt an enormous pressure. Before this, he didn't expect Lin Feng to be so terrifying. Now, the holy demon didn't want to continue fighting with Lin Feng. He needed to take a breather. Moreover, it was indeed not a good time to fight Lin Feng head-on, because Lin Feng's aura was at its peak, and the holy demon's aura was suppressed by Lin Feng. It was simply too unwise to fight to the death with Lin Feng now. Facing Lin Feng's attack, the holy demon waved his hand, and a world appeared between him and Lin Feng. That world was a world of darkness. Although it didn't look particularly big, that world of darkness was integrated with the power of space-time. Therefore, the two of them were actually quite far apart. The holy demon leader wanted to use this world of darkness to block Lin Feng's advance. However, he was indulging in fantasy. The current Lin Feng had the aura to kill gods and Buddhas. No matter who tried to block him, it was useless against Lin Feng. Even the world of darkness that appeared in front of Lin Feng was useless against Lin Feng. Lin Feng punched out and instantly shattered the world of darkness. Then, Lin Feng quickly charged towards the holy demon leader. The holy demon leader's plan to break free from Lin Feng completely failed. He had no choice but to face Lin Feng's attack head-on. Of course, the holy demon leader still had terrifying moves that he hadn't used yet. That was his last resort. He wouldn't use it unless he had no other choice. But now, it seemed like he had no choice. Ancestor of all demons. Suddenly, the leading holy fiend shouted. Behind him, demonic chi started to surge violently. Within the demonic chi, the shadow of an expert appeared. This expert was like an immortal god. His aura was powerful and ancient, just like the ancestor of all demons. Who is summoning the great ancestor of all demons? The ancestor of all demons asked in a low voice. Then, he opened his eyes. When he opened his eyes, millions of rays of demonic light shot out from his eyes. Although it was only a phantom, the strength of this ancestor of all demons was unimaginable. Many people's faces were filled with shock and emotion. That illusory figure was simply too powerful. At that moment, the holy demon leader piously said, "Great ancestor of all demons, it is your loyal servant who is summoning you. Great demon lord, please make your move and defeat that lowly human who dares to obstruct the rise of the holy demons." After the holy demon leader spoke, the phantom looked at Lin Feng. His eyes flickered with dense killing intent. "Lowly ant, you actually dare to obstruct the rise of the holy demons? Do you know that you have already committed a capital offense?" The phantom of the ancestor of all demons said coldly. Then, he walked towards Lin Feng. A powerful pressure directly pressed down on Lin Feng. The aura of the ancestor of all demons was extremely powerful. If it were any other cultivator, they definitely wouldn't be able to withstand the aura of the ancestor of all demons. However, for Lin Feng, it wasn't difficult at all. Lin Feng's qi began to circulate. In an instant, that terrifying qi dispersed like smoke in thin air. It didn't affect Lin Feng in the slightest. Oomph! The phantom of the ancestor of all demons seemed to have noticed that Lin Feng had dispelled his aura. Thus, he coldly snorted. Then, he stepped forward and walked towards Lin Feng. A large amount of demonic qi surged out of the phantom's body. The phantom of the ancestor of all demons blasted towards Lin Feng with a palm. A mysterious nation appeared in the palm of the ancestor of all demons. That mysterious nation seemed to be an ancient demon nation. When the phantom of the ancestor of all demons slammed down with his palm, the demon nation also flew out. The demon nation continued to grow bigger, bigger, and bigger. The demon nation directly enveloped Lin Feng. Lin Feng frowned slightly. He quickly retreated, trying to avoid being swallowed by the demon nation. However, Lin Feng wasn't able to do so. When the demon nation enveloped him, Lin Feng was instantly swallowed by the demon nation. Then, the demon nation continued to shrink until it was only half a meter in diameter. Lin Feng was trapped in the demon nation. The demon nation floated above the phantom of the ancestor of all demons. The phantom of the ancestor of all demons began to refine the demon nation. It seemed that he wanted to refine Lin Feng, who was trapped in the demon nation, to death. After seeing this scene, Zhou Zishi, Wei Limo, Ling Yin, and the others' faces suddenly turned ugly. If Lin Feng was refined to death, they would die without a doubt. These people wanted to rush over to help Lin Feng, but they were stopped by the other sacred demons. There was no way for them to get close to the phantom of the ancestor of all demons. Powerful magic power enveloped the demon nation. The phantom of the ancestor of all demons kept refining the demon nation. However, at that moment, a peerless sword chi directly tore the demon nation floating above the phantom of the ancestor of all demons in half. That sword chi was the result of Lin Feng's black dragon sword. He had used the celestial descent skill, which could kill celestials. The sword chi's power didn't decrease. It continued to slash at the phantom of the ancestor of demons. At that moment, Lin Feng and the phantom of the ancestor of demons were too close. The two sides were so close that the phantom of the ancestor of demons couldn't resist the terrifying power of the sword chi at all. The phantom of the ancestor of demons was cut in half by the sword chi formed by Lin Feng. Then, the phantom of the ancestor of demons vanished. The sword chi formed by Lin Feng continued to slash at the leader of the sacred demons. The leader of the sacred demons thought that Lin Feng was dead for sure. Who would have thought that not only was Lin Feng fine, but he also broke his magic power? Seeing the sword chi formed by Lin Feng slashing at him, the leader of the sacred demon's expression became extremely unsightly. He quickly retreated. At the same time, he took out a defensive magic treasure to block the sword chi formed by Lin Feng. However, the sword chi formed by Lin Feng suddenly disappeared. Lin Feng used the teleportation magic power to teleport himself. Lin Feng could multitask. He had no problem using all kinds of magic power at the same time. In the next moment, he appeared behind the leader of the sacred demons. Then, the sword chi formed by Lin Feng slashed at the leader of the sacred demons. Chapter 4284. This holy demon completely didn't expect Lin Feng to have such a powerful technique. He could teleport and kill people without them noticing. This technique could indeed have a miraculous effect in a big battle. Lin Feng's attack was extremely fast, and its power was also unimaginably strong. Of course, the holy demon leader was powerful enough. Although he didn't have eyes on the back of his head, he still sensed Lin Feng's appearance when Lin Feng appeared behind him. Of course, even though the holy demon leader sensed Lin Feng's appearance, it was extremely unrealistic for him to completely dodge Lin Feng's attack. The holy demon leader also knew this, so he didn't think about dodging Lin Feng's attack. If he blindly dodged, the situation would become even more troublesome when the time came. As the saying went, one wrong step would lead to many wrong steps. He couldn't continue dodging. Otherwise, he would be suppressed even more severely. Thus, the holy demon leader used a powerful divine ability. His body suddenly turned illusory. It was unknown what kind of technique this was. When Lin Feng's sword chi quickly rushed over, it instantly slashed the illusory figure. The attack landed on the illusory body of the holy demon, but it was unable to cause any damage to the holy demon leader. This kind of method was really strange. The holy fiend leader had grasped too many shocking techniques. Thus, it wasn't easy to kill him after he completely unleashed his battle prowess. However, Lin Feng had his own ways. Lin Feng used the one chi into 3 pure ones technique. Then, 12 layers of domineering aura overlapped and directly enveloped the holy demon leader. The holy demon leader's body had turned illusory, but when the 12 domineering magnetic fields enveloped him, the holy demon leader immediately returned to his original form. The pressure formed by the 12 domineering magnetic fields was really too strong. It was unrealistic to use the divine ability from before under the pressure formed by the 12 domineering magnetic fields. When the 12 domineering magnetic fields enveloped the holy fiend leader, it became somewhat difficult for him to move. His expression became extremely unsightly. He originally thought that he already had a certain understanding of Lin Feng's strength. However, as the battle continued, the leading holy demon finally realized that Lin Feng had one trump card after another. Moreover, his methods were so terrifying. Heaven-burning fury. Lin Feng's face revealed a cold expression. The 6 types of heavenly flames instantly compressed into a fireball, which emitted a terrifying power that could distort space-time. Then, Lin Feng took out the fireball. Whoosh! The fireball was extremely fast, and it flew towards the leading holy demon. Sensing the terrifying energy contained within the fireball, the leading holy demon's expression suddenly changed. His current situation was quite bad because Lin Feng's 12 domineering magnetic fields were restricting his body too much. This greatly reduced his battle prowess, and his movement speed was also greatly restricted. It was already too late for the leading holy demon to dodge the fireball, so he could only use his divine ability to resist Lin Feng's fireball. The leading holy demon's hands continuously formed seals, and he condensed a 7-colored energy ball. This divine ability was called 10,000 Spirit Technique. It was said that at most, it could condense 10,000 different colors. This divine ability was very heaven-defying, but it was also very difficult to cultivate. Even someone as powerful as the leading holy demon could only condense a few different colors. From this, one could see how difficult it was to cultivate this divine ability. Bang, bang. Lin Feng's 6-colored fireball and the 7-colored energy ball released by the leading holy demon instantly exploded, and then the destructive power collided violently. The power of heaven-burning fury was obviously stronger, and it directly dispersed the 7-colored energy ball's attack. Then, the energy from the 6-colored fireball's explosion sent the leading holy demon flying. Wah! The leading holy demon spat out a mouthful of blood, and his face became as pale as paper. That attack just now had caused him to suffer heavy injuries. Shock, astonishment, disbelief. Everyone looked at Lin Feng in disbelief. Lin Feng's combat strength was too heaven-defying. You disappoint me too much. If that's all you have, then I can kill you within 3 moves. Lin Feng looked indifferently at the leading holy demon. The leading holy demon was so powerful, but Lin Feng actually said that he could kill him within 3 moves. He was really arrogant to the extreme. However, no one felt that Lin Feng was arrogant, and no one felt that Lin Feng was arrogant, because Lin Feng was really too powerful. Lin Feng had the qualifications to say that. What a domineering man. The beautiful woman who also came from the undying realm stared at Lin Feng with her beautiful eyes. Her beautiful eyes were full of splendor. The man in front of her had aroused her great interest. Sir, we'll help you. The other 2 holy demons at the itinerant immortal level shouted loudly and quickly pounced toward Lin Feng. As for those sub-immortal level holy demons, they did not make a move. With their strength, they were not enough to participate in such a big battle. Moreover, they still needed to look after the surviving cultivators of the 3 major forces. Kill him together, the leading holy demon said coldly. The leader of the sacred demons said coldly. After having 2 helpers, the Sacred Demon Alliance's Sacred Demon Alliance became even more powerful. His confidence was suddenly boosted. 3 itinerant immortals. Could it be that they could not deal with Lin Feng? The leading holy demon and the other 2 itinerant immortal-level holy demons did not think so. Lin Feng was indeed powerful, and they admitted that. However, if Lin Feng could fight against 3 holy demons by himself, this was purely a fantasy. It was impossible for such a thing to happen. Qiu Zixi, Wei Limo, Ling Yin, and the beautiful woman could not help but worry for Lin Feng. The 3 itinerant immortals besieged Lin Feng. Could Lin Feng still deal with the 3 itinerant immortals? Although Lin Feng had displayed powerful combat strength just now, Lin Feng had been fighting one-on-one with the leading itinerant immortal. But now, Lin Feng was fighting against 3 itinerant immortals by himself. This situation, it was really too dangerous. If the 3 lords attack together, that kid will definitely die. That's right. No matter how powerful that kid is, he definitely won't be a match for the 3 lords. The 3 lords might not kill him directly. Instead, they might capture him alive and torture him later. Hee, I'm really looking forward to seeing this scene happen soon. The group of holy demons began to discuss. Then, the group of holy demons let out a sinister and terrifying laughter. The laughter of those holy demons made one's hair stand on end. Chapter 4285. Humph. Lin Feng looked at the 3 independent celestial cultivators who had joined forces to attack him. These 3 guys. Their joint attack was naturally very terrifying. But so what? Lin Feng was still fearless. Lin Feng had mastered the 4 great immortal sutras and many supreme supernatural powers. Why would he be afraid of these people? Lin Feng began to operate the Great Wilderness Sutra. The Great Wilderness Sutra was definitely one of the supreme immortal sutras since ancient times. When the Great Wilderness Sutra was operated, Lin Feng's body emitted an indescribable aura. That aura seemed to be able to shock the world. With the operation of the Great Wilderness Sutra, the spiritual power in Lin Feng's body quickly turned into Power of Desolates. Power of Desolates, this was an extremely terrifying power. It was supreme and could destroy everything. I am the Desolate Emperor. My fist can break the world. Suddenly, Lin Feng couldn't help but shout coldly. His voice was majestic, as if the ancient, desolate emperor had descended to the world. It was said that in the Great Wilderness era, there were many strong people, and it was one of the most dazzling eras of this era. The ruler of the Great Wilderness era was the Desolate Emperor. Once the Desolate Emperor appeared, he looked down on the world. Who could compete with him? At that moment, Lin Feng was using the Great Desolation Scriptures, a peerless skill from the Celestial Scriptures. This was the first time that Lin Feng used the Great Wilderness Sutra against an enemy. Under normal circumstances, Lin Feng wouldn't use these immortal sutras against an enemy. What was an immortal sutra? Only the supreme immortal methods that immortals cultivated could be called immortal sutra. The power of immortal sutra was unimaginable. But the consumption of immortal sutra was also unimaginable. Because when operating the immortal sutra, one's spiritual power would be consumed very quickly. Therefore, Lin Feng rarely used the immortal sutra against an enemy. But now, the 3 loose immortals were besieging him. Lin Feng no longer held back. Although Lin Feng's battle strength had increased to an extremely unimaginable level, his battle prowess was many times stronger than before. But the opponents were 3 loose immortals. Who dared to underestimate the joint attack of 3 loose immortals? In words, you can despise them. However, in terms of actual actions, they had to be extremely cautious. They absolutely could not show any contempt towards them. Otherwise, he would be the unlucky one in the end. The power of desolates in Lin Feng's body instantly surged towards his arm. Then, Lin Feng punched out. Suddenly, the power of desolates surged out and condensed into a huge desolate's divine fist in the void. That incomparably huge desolation god fist contained the power to destroy the world. It instantly enveloped the 3 holy demons. The divine abilities of the 3 holy devils collided with Lin Feng's godly fist of famine. The attacks of the 3 holy demons were instantly shattered. Then, the godly fist of desolation ruthlessly smashed into the 3 holy devils. The 3 holy devils felt as if they had been struck by lightning. He was sent flying. Wow! The 3 holy demons spat out mouthfuls of blood. The 2 first firmament loose immortal saints were more seriously injured. Who knew how many of their bones had been broken by that punch? The leading saint devil was much stronger than them. Therefore, the situation was slightly better. It's too terrifying, too savage. Everyone watching the battle was stunned. Lin Feng's battle prowess was simply too strong. In their eyes, Lin Feng had become an invincible god. Run! The subimmortal holy devils sensed that the situation was far from good. Taking advantage of the fact that Lin Feng still had no time to deal with them, they turned and fled. Lin Feng summoned the primordial ancestral insect and Emperor Archaic. The primordial ancestral insect and Emperor Archaic immediately chased after the fleeing immortal-slaying holy devils. As for Lin Feng, he continued to deal with the 3 holy devils. O mighty Tao of reincarnation, manifest the wheel of reincarnation. Let the wheel of reincarnation send these evil beings to the endless depths of hell. O mighty Tao of karma, manifest the gate of karma. Let the gate of karma send these evil beings to the punishment they deserve. As soon as Lin Feng finished speaking, the wheel of reincarnation and the gate of karma appeared in the void. Simultaneously summoning the wheel of reincarnation and the gate of karma was one of Lin Feng's trump cards. This was a combination divine ability that Lin Feng had created himself. The wheel of reincarnation and the gate of karma complemented each other. Together, they would attack. The attacks they unleashed would be incomparably powerful and terrifying. Just like now, when Lin Feng summoned the Wheel of Reincarnation and the Gate of Karma at the same time. The Wheel of Reincarnation spun violently in the void. Every time it spun, it would explode with unimaginably terrifying power. The power of the Wheel of Reincarnation's rotation ruthlessly slammed into the three holy devils. The three holy devils were sent flying once more, their injuries worsening. "This kid is savage. Hurry up and leave," the leading holy devil said in a low voice. Although he wanted nothing more than to cut Lin Feng into 1,000 pieces, however, Lin Feng's battle prowess was simply too strong. Such terrifying battle prowess. There was simply no way to resist. Rumble. At this moment, the Gate of Karma descended from the sky, suppressing the three holy devils. Bang, bang, bang. The three holy devils were sent flying by the Gate of Karma. Lin Feng used the great grappling technique and grabbed at the three holy devils. A huge energy palm condensed in the void and grabbed at the three holy devils. The leading holy devil quickly teleported several hundred meters away, dodging Lin Feng's grab. However, the other two holy devils weren't so lucky. They were caught by the huge palm condensed by Lin Feng's great grappling technique. Then, the palm suddenly exerted force. The two holy devils were instantly crushed into meat paste. Then, they were refined into holy devil fruits. Seeing this scene, the leading holy devil's face was filled with shock. He raised his speed to the limit, wanting to escape with his life. However, at this moment, a mysterious, ancient, powerful, and eternal illusory stone door appeared above him. That illusory stone door wasn't the Gate of Karma. It was the illusory Gate of Eternal Life. Lin Feng had just summoned the illusory Gate of Eternal Life to deal with the leading holy devil. After seeing the illusory Gate of Eternal Life, the leading holy devil's face was filled with shock. He could feel the terrifying power contained within the illusory Gate of Eternal Life. He wanted to teleport to dodge the attack of the illusory Gate of Eternal Life, but the illusory Gate of Eternal Life shattered the surrounding void. The leading holy devil was simply unable to dodge the attack of the illusory Gate of Eternal Life. Therefore, the leading holy devil had no choice but to resist the attack of the illusory Gate of Eternal Life. His body started to grow continuously. In an instant, he became a 100-meter-tall giant. Then, he consecutively launched 36 punches at the illusory Gate of Eternal Life. However, the illusory Gate of Eternal Life instantly broke through his attacks and ruthlessly slammed into the leading holy devil's body. Bang! Along with the sound of the violent collision, a loud bang was heard. The leading holy devil's body directly exploded. Lin Feng quickly flew over and refined the leading holy devil's essence into a holy devil fruit. Chapter 4286. On the other side, the ancient ancestral insect and Emperor Archaic cooperated seamlessly. They displayed their might. The other 5 subimmortal holy devils were all killed. Lin Feng flew over and refined the 5 subimmortal saint devils into heavenly devil fruits. This time, Lin Feng collected 7 heavenly devil fruits. Including the 5 heavenly devil fruits from before, Lin Feng now had 12 heavenly devil fruits on him. This made Lin Feng very happy. 12 heavenly devil fruits was more than enough. It should be enough to help him break through to the 10th layer of the Emperor realm. Lin Feng was about to leave when a group of people quickly walked over. "Thank you for saving us, young master. Thank you for saving our lives, brother." These people thanked Lin Feng one after another. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes and sized up the group of people. He looked at Ling Yin and Qiu Zishi and said, "If you want to thank me, then have a romantic date with me." The 2 girls couldn't help but roll their eyes. This guy really went off topic with just a few sentences. And his personality was the same as before. He was simply a lecher. But thinking about it carefully, the 2 girls felt that how could such a powerful person like Lin Feng be such a shameless lecher? Or was this just a part of his personality that he purposely displayed to hide his true self? The more the 2 girls thought about it, the more they felt that it was possible. Lin Feng was such a terrifying person, but he acted like a lecher. It seemed that he was also a person with a story. The 2 women couldn't help but feel curious about Lin Feng. Young master is a proud son of heaven. Why are you pretending to be a hooligan? Ling Yin said. Everyone loves beauty. I'm not acting like a hooligan. I like to appreciate the beauty of the world. Lin Feng said. You're full of nonsense. Qiu Zishi snorted coldly. How should I address you, young master? The beautiful woman looked at Lin Feng and asked. Her voice was soft and crisp. After hearing it, he felt as if his bones were about to melt. Compared to Ling Yin and Qiu Zishi, she had a charming and mature temperament. This kind of charming and mature temperament was the most attractive. Lin Feng said. We've only met by chance, so why ask for his name? The blood-refining starfield is filled with danger. If you don't have an itinerant immortal to guard it, I advise you to leave this place as soon as possible. After saying that, Lin Feng didn't stay any longer and quickly left. After Lin Feng left, he found a secluded place to enter seclusion. He wanted to break through to the 10th heavenly layer of the Emperor Realm. This was the final realm of the Emperor Realm. Once it was broken through, the next step was to prepare for breaking through to the Saint Emperor Realm. Lin Feng adjusted his body to its peak state and started to refine the Holy Devil Fruit. As Lin Feng refined the Holy Devil Fruit one by one, Lin Feng's magic power became purer and stronger. However, it was very difficult to break through to the 10th heavenly layer of the Emperor Realm, but Lin Feng wasn't worried. Therefore, he had obtained enough Holy Devil Fruits this time. He would definitely break through. As time passed, Lin Feng refined the Holy Devil Fruits one after another. Lin Feng refined 9 Holy Devil Fruits in succession. However, he still couldn't break through to the next realm. This time, he needed more Holy Devil Fruits than Lin Feng expected. The remaining 3 Holy Devil Fruits were refined from the 3 itinerant immortal Holy Devil Fruits. The effect was much better than the Holy Devil Fruits he had refined before. Lin Feng took out a Holy Devil Fruit and began to refine it. It was a Fiend God Fruit refined from a Fiend God Fruit after the death of a Fiend God. First, firmament loose immortal. Rumble, 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 rumble. Lin Feng's body emitted a sound that sounded like a surging river. The sound was so loud that even the apathetic could hear it. Lin Feng was on the verge of breaking through to the next realm. Half an hour later, Lin Feng broke through to the next realm. He finally broke through from the 9th heavenly layer of the Emperor Realm to the 10th heavenly layer of the Emperor Realm. There are still 2 Holy Devil Fruits left. Lin Feng's face lit up with joy. Lin Feng refined the remaining 2 Holy Devil Fruits. After Lin Feng refined the 2 Holy Demon Fruits, Lin Feng frowned. Suddenly, Lin Feng's strength increased once again, and his strength became even purer. Now, Lin Feng needed to raise his cultivation to the peak of the Emperor Realm. Only after that could he attempt to break through to the Sage Emperor Realm. After Lin Feng refined the 2 Holy Devil Fruits, Lin Feng felt that his cultivation had stopped at the peak of the 10th heavenly layer of the Emperor Realm. It seemed that it would be more difficult to break through from the 10th heavenly layer of the Emperor Realm to the peak of the Emperor Realm. It would consume more Holy Devil Fruits. As for breaking through to the Sage Emperor Realm, it would be even more difficult. However, if Lin Feng broke through to the Sage Emperor Realm, it would be too terrifying. At that time, he would definitely possess unfathomable strength. Lin Feng had just come out of seclusion. In a mountain range about 1,000 miles northwest of Lin Feng, a huge battle broke out. If Lin Feng were here, he would definitely be able to recognize the besieged cultivator. The besieged cultivator was the middle-aged cultivator who was on the verge of going crazy because of the tragic death of his son and daughter. At this moment, dozens of demon Dao cultivators were besieging this middle-aged cultivator. One had to admit that this middle-aged cultivator was too terrifying. His combat strength was simply heaven-defying. Although the demon Dao cultivators besieging him were also extremely powerful, they were constantly being killed by the middle-aged cultivator. Of course, the other side had the advantage in numbers, so the middle-aged cultivator didn't have much of an advantage in this battle. A tall and sturdy old man walked over from afar. The old man wielded an azure dragon saber and slashed at the middle-aged cultivator. The old man was the leader of this group of Demon Dao experts. He slashed out with his saber, leaving no trace behind. His saber technique was truly terrifying to the extreme. The middle-aged cultivator quickly dodged, but a saber chi still left a bone-deep wound on his body. Where's the demon lord token? Hand it over, and I'll give you a quick death. The old man said coldly as he looked at the middle-aged cultivator. You'll never get the demon lord token, the middle-aged cultivator said coldly. Then, his body suddenly exploded and turned into a blood-red light, disappearing into the void. Chase, the old man shouted in a deep voice. The demon lord token, the one rumored to be able to command the demon realm, has actually appeared again? These people were about to chase after the middle-aged cultivator who had escaped. A voice suddenly resounded in the mountain forest. The cultivators who wanted to chase after the middle-aged cultivator couldn't help but stop. Chapter 4287. As soon as the voice left his mouth, the void trembled slightly before a cultivator walked out. The cultivator who appeared was none other than Dijue. The crown prince of the Dao Saint Palace, Dijue, had broken through to the itinerant immortal realm after cultivating for 180 years. Even in the entire universe, this person was considered a heaven-defying monster. He made people exclaim in admiration, shock, and disbelief. He was too powerful. Therefore, in the face of these Devil Dao experts, Dijue was still arrogant. Everyone looked at Dijue who had suddenly appeared. Many of the Devil Dao experts' eyes flashed with a ghastly coldness. The matter of the Devil Master token was a secret that could not be exposed. Otherwise, it would bring about great trouble. Moreover, if too many people knew about it, it would be hard to say if they could obtain the Devil Master token. This was especially true for the major forces of the Undying World, and even the major forces of the Heaven Realm. Their chances of obtaining the Devil Master token would be even smaller. The old man in the lead waved his hand. Immediately, more than 10 Devil Dao experts surrounded Dijue. When those Devil Dao experts looked at Dijue, it was as though they were looking at a dead man. Perhaps, in their opinion, Dijue would definitely die this time. Go to hell. More than 10 Devil Dao experts charged at Dijue with powerful Dharma treasures in their hands. However, at this moment, Dijue's lips curled into a contemptuous expression. Scram. He opened his mouth and spat out a single word. Those cultivators immediately felt as though they were struck by lightning. One by one, they were sent flying. They could not even get close to Dijue's body. Dijue was just too powerful. He was so powerful that people could not help but be aghast. Even the expressions of these Devil Dao cultivators turned extremely grave. They did not expect Dijue to possess such heaven-defying combat strength at such a young age. Who are you? The old man in the lead looked at Dijue with a gloomy expression. He was an itinerant immortal. Moreover, he was an itinerant immortal with a very high cultivation base. Therefore, he was not afraid when he faced Dijue. Dijue did not kill the people on his side. It meant that he did not want to completely fall out with them. It seemed like Dijue wanted to work together. Dijue of the Dao Saint Palace. Dijue's mouth. What? Are you Dijue of the Dao Saint Palace? Cries of surprise rang out one after another as the cultivators looked at Dijue in shock. Obviously, these Devil Dao cultivators had also heard of Dijue's great name. However, it was their first time seeing Dijue. Dijue's powerful battle prowess had indeed shocked them. The old man in the lead was different from the other cultivators. After all, he was experienced and knowledgeable. Therefore, even when he heard Dijue's self-introduction, he did not show too much shock on his face. He appeared to be quite calm. So you're the Dao Saint Palace's crown prince, Dijue. Now, tell me your purpose. Dijue smiled nonchalantly and said, I'm not interested in controlling the devil world. I'm only interested in the few supreme treasures in the devil world. Demonic orb, demonic mirror, demonic stone. There are also 2 supreme treasures. I don't know what they are exactly, but it is said that the demonic master token can be used to find these supreme treasures. Are you eyeing the supreme treasure of my demon world? The old man looked at Dijue with a gloomy expression. This person was actually an expert from the devil world. It was really unexpected. The devil world was one of the top 7 great worlds among the 3,000 great worlds. In this world, there were many experts. Moreover, There had been many earth-shattering figures in the history of the Devil World. However, some of the powerful figures in the Devil World were usually ambitious. Therefore, once there was a change in the Devil World, it would usually cause great suffering. However, the outside world did not know much about the Devil World because it was shrouded in a layer of mystery. Some cultivators who had entered the Devil World to explore the secrets of the Devil World had died in the Devil World. The supreme treasures in the world are naturally obtained by those who are fated to obtain them. The supreme treasures of the Devil World are no exception. All of you aspire to obtain the demonic master token and unify the Devil World, while I aspire to obtain the few supreme treasures of the Devil World. We each have our own needs. Wouldn't it be a match made in heaven if we worked together? Dijue said nonchalantly. The old man could not help but frown and ponder deeply. If he did not agree, it would be very difficult for them to carry out their plan. If Dijue wanted to trip them up, they would not be able to resist him. After all, a powerful dragon could not defeat a snake in its old haunts. All right, we can work together. After we obtain the demonic master token, we'll bring you to look for those treasures. The old man from the Devil World said. Dijue said, I heard that in order to fully unleash the power of the few supreme treasures, we'll have to make a trip to the Devil World Saint Land. I wonder if that's true? The old man said. Of course it's true. Don't worry. We'll bring you to the Devil World Saint Land when the time comes. That's great. I'll issue an order now to search for the whereabouts of that Devil Dao cultivator with all our might. The corners of Diju's mouth curled up into a faint smile as he spoke. As the crown prince of the Dao Saint Palace, Dijue had a huge force under him. Therefore, when he gave the order, many cultivators in the blood refinement great world began to search for the middle-aged cultivator. Some of them were Dijue's subordinates. It was only natural that they wanted to contribute. Some of them were not related to Dijue at all. The reason these cultivators also joined in was because they wanted to make a great contribution in front of Diju. If that was the case, when the time came, they might be remembered by Dijue. If they could form a relationship with Dijue, they might even become his friends. At that time, they would definitely soar. A large number of cultivators were searching for the middle-aged cultivator's whereabouts. On this day, Lin Feng passed by a mountain range. He noticed that there was a rolling black chi in the mountain range. A cultivator was sitting cross-legged in the middle of the black chi. This cultivator was none other than the Devil Dao cultivator whose son and daughter had died. During this period of time, many people were searching for the whereabouts of this Devil Dao cultivator. Lin Feng hadn't thought he would run into such a demonic cultivator here. When the Devil Dao cultivator saw Lin Feng, his expression changed slightly. He only knew how powerful Lin Feng was. If he were to attack him now, he would most likely die. At this moment, Lin Feng seemed to have sensed something as he looked into the distance. He had a feeling that someone was rushing toward them at high speed. I have no intention of making you my enemy. It seems like your enemy is here. We can't stay here any longer. I'll bring you away, Lin Feng said. The middle-aged cultivator took a deep look at Lin Feng before nodding his head. He chose to believe in Lin Feng. However, he did not know why he chose to believe in Lin Feng. Lin Feng came to the middle-aged cultivator's side. He grabbed the middle-aged cultivator's shoulder before he shuttled through the void and left with the middle-aged cultivator. Not long after, the void split open. Dijue walked out of the void that had split open. Where is he? Dijue looked at the empty valley in the depths with a gloomy expression. Chapter 4288. Dijue was very resourceful and had boundless magic power. After his subordinate reported the news to him, Dijue rushed over. As soon as Diju rushed over, he could already sense the middle-aged cultivator's aura even though he was still far away. However, when he arrived, the middle-aged cultivator had disappeared. Dijue had always felt that the middle-aged cultivator was here. In fact, the reason Dijue had such a feeling was that when Lin Feng brought the middle-aged cultivator away, he had used the great bewitching technique to create an aura that was exactly the same as the middle-aged cultivator's to confuse Dijue. However, Dijue did not notice it at all. At this moment, Dijue had also regained his senses. An extremely grave expression immediately appeared on his face. At this moment, the group of Devil World cultivators stepped out from the void. Where's that fella? When the Devil World cultivators did not see the middle-aged cultivator, their expressions turned grave. Dijue said, "He ran away. However, he won't be able to escape. The Starry Sky world outside the Blood Refinement Great World has been completely sealed. Unless he's hiding in the Blood Refinement Great World, he won't be able to escape even if he has wings. Even if he's hiding in the Blood Refinement Great World, he won't be able to escape. I'll gather more cultivators to search for that fella." The old man who was the leader of the Devil World nodded and said, "That's great. I hope we can find that fella soon. Otherwise, a long night will bring trouble." Lin Feng brought the middle-aged cultivator to a mountain forest 100 miles away. He opened up a cave abode in the mountain forest. Both of them entered the cave abode while Lin Feng sealed the cave abode. The middle-aged cultivator continued to sit cross-legged as he circulated his energy to heal his injuries. Lin Feng, on the other hand, sat at the side and waited for the middle-aged cultivator to come out of his closed-door cultivation. A day later, the middle-aged cultivator's injuries had mostly healed. He opened his eyes and looked at Lin Feng as he asked, "Why did you help me when I wanted to kill you?" Lin Feng smiled faintly and said, "I helped because I wanted to." The middle-aged cultivator said with a frown, "That's not a valid reason." Lin Feng asked, "Why? Do you need a reason to do something?" "Yes," the middle-aged cultivator said. Lin Feng said, "I feel that your nature isn't bad. The reason you went around killing people is because you wanted revenge. I understand your feelings, so I don't blame you." The middle-aged cultivator sneered and said, "Everyone has the right to kill people from the Devil Dao, but you're saying that I'm not bad based on your own feelings? What a joke." Lin said, "So what if you're from the Devil World? I know a lot of Devil Dao cultivators. I have a life and death friend who is even from the Heavenly Devil Clan, so I don't look at Devil Dao or Evil Dao cultivators differently. Moreover, in this world, there are too many sanctimonious righteous people who are actually more evil than evil demons." The middle-aged cultivator remained silent. He then asked, "What's your name?" "Lin Feng." "Lin Yunsong," the middle-aged cultivator said. "What a coincidence. We're from the same clan." Lin Feng said with a smile. The middle-aged cultivator looked at Lin Feng and asked, "You don't look like someone from this star field. Where did you come from?" Lin Feng said, "I'm a cultivator who traveled through space from the 9 provinces Great World. I plan to go to the Undying Realm." The Undying Realm. The middle-aged cultivator's pupil shrank slightly. A pained expression appeared in his eyes. He originally wanted to go to the Undying Realm. He wanted to live in seclusion with his child in the Undying Realm and watch his child grow up. However, he didn't live to see that day. "I'm sorry. I've reminded you of something sad." When Lin Feng saw the middle-aged cultivator's pained expression, he immediately knew that his words must have reminded the middle-aged cultivator of something very sad. Therefore, Lin Feng quickly apologized. In fact, he sympathized with the middle-aged cultivator. Such a pair of adorable children had died so miserably. Who wouldn't go crazy in such a situation? Ask yourself this. If it were himself, Lin Feng felt that he would slaughter the entire family. There's no need to apologize. I've already accepted this fact. Right now, I just want to kill that person. The middle-aged cultivator's eyes flashed with a chilling killing intent. Lin Feng remembered what had happened back then. He remembered that the one who had killed the middle-aged cultivator's son and daughter had been wearing the clothes of the Dao Holy Palace. But after that, Lin Feng had never seen that cultivator again. "That guy is an expert from the Dao Saint Palace," Lin Feng said. "I know. I've been looking for him, but I couldn't find any trace of him. If I can't find him, I'll hide in the Dao Saint Palace. Even if I have to pay with my life, I'll cut him into 1,000 pieces." At this point, the middle-aged cultivator couldn't help but clench his fists. His heart was filled with hatred. It was also filled with pain. He missed his child very much, but he would never be able to see his child again. Lin Feng could understand the pain of losing a loved one. Lin Feng still remembered the scene of his third uncle dying to save him. Even though many years had passed, every time he thought of the scene of his third uncle's tragic death, Lin Feng's heart still felt like it was being stabbed. Hatred was Lin Feng's motivation to continue working hard. Don't be so rash. It's too dangerous to enter the Dao Saint Palace. As long as you're alive, there's always hope, Lin Feng said. I know. Thank you for the reminder, the middle-aged cultivator replied. Who's looking for you? Lin Feng asked. The middle-aged cultivator said, people from the demon world and the Dao Saint Palace. I think the Dao Saint Palace and the demon world have joined forces. Hearing this, Lin Feng was surprised. He hadn't thought there would be people from the demon world apart from the Dao Saint Palace who were looking for the middle-aged man. The demon world was shrouded in a layer of mystery to Lin Feng. Lin Feng asked, why are they looking for you? The middle-aged cultivator fell silent. It was as if he didn't want to talk about it. Lin Feng said, if it's a secret, then don't say it. I'm not someone who likes to pry into other people's secrets. The middle-aged cultivator sighed and said, it's a secret, but to me, I only want revenge. Any treasure or secret is useless to me. I might die at any time. If this item is left with me, it's very likely that my enemies will get it. Rather than that, I'd rather give it to you. What is it? Lin Feng couldn't help but feel puzzled. The middle-aged cultivator's enemies were hunting him down for this item. It was obvious how extraordinary this item was. Swoosh! There was a flash of light and an item flew out. Lin Feng looked and saw that it was a token. What token is this? Lin Feng asked curiously. Chapter 4289. The middle-aged cultivator said, this is the Demon Lord token passed down by the 9th Demon Lord. What? Demon Lord token? There's such a thing? What can this token do? Hearing the middle-aged cultivator's words, Lin Feng was shocked and couldn't help but ask curiously. The inheritance of the 9th Demon Lord represents supreme authority. After obtaining the Demon Lord token, one can command many forces in the demon realm, the middle-aged cultivator said. Hearing this, Lin Feng suddenly thought of the True Dragon token he had obtained back then. It seemed to have the same effect as the Demon Lord token. True Dragon token. To be able to command the Dragon Realm. Of course, Lin Feng hadn't gone to the Dragon Realm yet because Lin Feng still didn't know where the Dragon Realm was. The Dragon Realm had always been mysterious. Lin Feng felt that perhaps he could find out the exact location of the Dragon Realm after reaching the Undying Realm. After finding out the exact location of the Dragon Realm, he would head to the Dragon Realm and subdue the various races there. The entire Dragon Realm. It would become one of his territories. The various races of the Dragon Realm would also become his people. Thinking of this, Lin Feng couldn't help but feel a little excited. No wonder those people are chasing after you so crazily. Lin Feng couldn't help but sigh. The world was full of clamors for benefits. The Demon Lord token had great implications, so the other party naturally wouldn't let the middle-aged cultivator go. Other than commanding the Demon Realm, the Demon Lord token can also lead to the Demon Realm's 5 great treasures. Now that the 5 great treasures have been lost, if you can find the 5 great treasures of the Demon Realm, that would be heaven-defying. Rumor has it that after gathering the 5 great treasures, a cultivator's combat strength would definitely be heaven-defying. If you can fully unleash the power of the 5 great treasures, even those behind the scenes might not be a match for you. The middle-aged cultivator continued. Damn, so powerful? You're exaggerating, right? Lin Feng couldn't help but say. In fact, Lin Feng had also heard of the 5 great treasures of the Demon Realm because the ancient devil ring that Lin Feng had was one of the 5 great treasures of the Demon Realm. The ancient devil ring was mysterious and unfathomable. Even the current Lin Feng had yet to fully explore its secrets. As for the other supreme treasures, Lin Feng didn't know what they were. The only thing he knew was that those supreme treasures were extremely terrifying. Moreover, the origin of those supreme treasures was also incomparably ancient. The middle-aged cultivator replied, I don't know if it's an exaggeration. We'll have to wait until we gather all 5 supreme treasures before we can verify it. Lin Feng asked, what are these 5 supreme treasures? The demonic bead, the demonic mirror, the demonic stone, the demonic ring. There's another treasure that even I don't know. That treasure is really mysterious. Moreover, it had disappeared in the absolute beginning era. Thus, people didn't know what it was. However, According to some legends in the Devil Realm, that treasure can also be sensed through the Devil Master token. The middle-aged cultivator said. Hearing the middle-aged cultivator's words, a look of shock appeared on Lin Feng's face. The demonic bead was also one of the 5 supreme treasures? Didn't that mean that he had already collected 2 of the 5 supreme treasures? Lin Feng still remembered the mysterious woman in the demonic bead. Even now, Lin Feng still didn't know her exact origins. Lin Feng looked at the Devil Master token in the middle-aged cultivator's hand and couldn't help but reveal a look of joy. This Devil Master token seemed to be a little too heaven-defying. It was really a good item. Lin Feng asked, "Uncle, are you really planning to give me the Devil Master token?" "Of course." The middle-aged cultivator nodded and handed the Devil Master token to Lin Feng. Lin Feng started playing with the Demon Leader's talisman, following which, Lin Feng channeled his magic power into the Devil Master token. Instantly, he felt as if his soul was being pulled into a mysterious world. That mysterious world was ancient and filled with vicissitudes. In that mysterious world stood 9 ancient existences. They were the 9 mighty existences. They were like immortal gods that had existed since ancient times. They were so powerful and so terrifying. Those 9 existences were none other than the 9 existences. They were the 9 Devil Masters. The Devil Master token was imprinted with the aura of the 9 Devil Masters, and Lin Feng could sense their auras. In the next moment, his divine thought withdrew from the Devil Master token. At that moment, Lin Feng discovered that the demonic bead in his dantian was fluctuating violently. Whoosh! The next moment, the demonic bead flew out and began to revolve around the Devil Master token. This is the legendary demonic bead. When he saw the demonic bead, the middle-aged cultivator couldn't help but exclaim. His face was filled with deep shock, and he couldn't believe what he was seeing. The demonic bead. It was actually the demonic bead. How many people had tried to find the demonic bead but failed? The demonic bead actually had an owner. The next moment, the runes imprinted on Lin Feng's arm began to fluctuate violently. Next, the ancient devil ring flew out as well. The ancient devil ring also began to revolve around the Devil Master token. After seeing the ancient devil ring fly out, the middle-aged cultivator was so shocked that he couldn't speak coherently. Lin Feng, alone, without the demon leader's talisman, had already collected 2 of the 5 most precious treasures. If this news spread to the devil world, the entire devil world would be shaken, right? Hee. I've had a small fortuitous encounter these past few years. I've obtained 2 of the 5 supreme treasures, Lin Feng grinned. The middle-aged cultivator couldn't help but roll his eyes. How was this a small fortuitous encounter? This was clearly a heaven-defying fortuitous encounter. The middle-aged cultivator said, "You've managed to collect 2 supreme treasures without the Devil Master token. This means that you're fated with the Devil Master token. Now that you've obtained the Devil Master token, I believe that you'll be able to collect the remaining 3 supreme treasures soon enough." "I hope so." A look of anticipation appeared on Lin Feng's face. Lin Feng then asked, "The people from the Dao Saint Palace and the Devil World have teamed up to look for you. It seems that the people from the Dao Saint Palace also want the Devil Master token, right?" The middle-aged cultivator said, "I don't think so. The people from the Dao Saint Palace also know that the Devil Master token is a hot potato. It's not something they should covet. I'm guessing that the people from the Dao Saint Palace want to use the Devil Master token to obtain the 5 supreme treasures. As for the Devil Master token, it belongs to the people from the Devil World. Do the people from the Dao Saint Palace know what the 5 supreme treasures are?" Lin Feng asked. The middle-aged cultivator said, "The Devil Orb, the Devil Mirror, and the Devil Stone. News of these 3 items has spread far and wide, so they should know about them. Very few people know about the Devil Ring, so I'm not sure if they know about it. As for the 5th supreme treasure, I'm sure they don't know about it because I'm not the only one who doesn't know what it is. Even the people from the Devil World don't know what it is." Chapter 4290. After the middle-aged cultivator's explanation, Lin Feng finally had a more detailed understanding of the Devil Lord token. "Let's part ways here. I have to continue looking for the enemy of the Dao Saint Palace," the middle-aged cultivator said. Lin Feng couldn't help but worry for the middle-aged cultivator. He said, "There will be plenty of opportunities for revenge. There's no need to rush. Now that so many people are looking for Uncle, it's dangerous outside. I think Uncle should avoid them." "I will. Before I kill my enemy, I won't die so easily," the middle-aged cultivator said. He patted Lin Feng's shoulder and said, "Cultivate well. I hope we can meet again in the future." "I also hope to meet Uncle," Lin Feng said. The middle-aged cultivator left. He was a very good person. Lin Feng had known this for a long time. In the beginning, he had been constantly killing people out of hatred. Now, he had woken up. Lin Feng hoped that he could kill the person of the Dao Saint Palace. Only then would he be able to gradually free himself from his hatred. After parting with the middle-aged cultivator, Lin Feng continued looking for powerful sacred devils. He needed to collect more sacred devil fruits to increase his cultivation. However, Lin Feng found that the sacred devils had disappeared. After searching for many days, he couldn't find any traces of them. It was very strange. On this day, a terrifying fluctuation came from the depths of the blood refinement grand world. Such a terrifying fluctuation alarmed everyone. Many cultivators quickly flew towards the source of the fluctuation. They entered the underground world and soon, news spread that a sacred devil king was transforming in the underground world. The sacred devil king was the king of the sacred devils. His bloodline was extremely powerful. This sacred devil king had suffered an extremely serious injury in the past, so his cultivation had fallen greatly. He had even fallen below the loose immortal realm. This time, he had recovered to the loose immortal realm. This sacred devil king wasn't someone that ordinary sacred devils could contend against. Once this sacred devil king broke through to the loose immortal realm, his cultivation would be terrifying. A large number of cultivators surrounded the sacred devil king, including some loose immortal realm experts. However, the sacred devil king still managed to escape. The holy devil emperor unleashed a massacre and fled without a trace. Although the holy devil emperor's cultivation base has dropped, his bloodline is simply too powerful. If we use his bloodline to refine the holy devil fruit, he'll be able to refine the holy devil fruit. If he refined a sacred devil fruit, one sacred devil fruit might be comparable to dozens of ordinary sacred devil fruits. The sacred devil king's memories contain many secrets of the sacred devil tribe, sacred devil race that disappeared, but they were extremely powerful in the past. That's right. Now, all the major powers have their eyes on the Saint Devil Emperor. It seems that they are determined to kill the Saint Devil Emperor. Countless cultivators were discussing this matter. Indeed, it was as the cultivators had said. Now, countless forces wanted to kill the sacred devil king. However, it wasn't that easy to kill the sacred devil king. In the following period of time, there were constant rumors of cultivators fighting the sacred devil king. The Saint Devil Emperor was very cunning. After killing a group of people, he would immediately leave. He would absolutely not continue to stay in one place. This kind of guerrilla warfare method made many people feel very helpless. Of course, the most helpless thing was that the Saint Devil Emperor knew how to change his appearance. The Sacred Devil King's transformation techniques were strange and unpredictable. Once he transformed into someone else, no one would be able to discover any flaws. Therefore, the Sacred Devil King would often transform into the cultivators of various forces. Then, he would hide in the middle of the various forces and suddenly launch an attack on them. As a result, the various forces had suffered heavy losses. This matter had caused a lot of panic. Fortunately, many cultivators had brought demon-revealing mirrors. After they used the demon-revealing mirrors to protect themselves, the Sacred Devil King became much more obedient. On this day, Lin Feng saw black fog rolling in the distance. A great battle had broken out. When Lin Feng flew over, he saw more than a dozen cultivators besieging 3 sacred devils. The cultivators didn't have much of an advantage in the battle against the 3 sacred devils. The 3 sacred devils laughed eerily. The Dao Saint Palace cultivators absorb the power of the Dao source every day. Even their flesh is fragrant. You will be greatly nourished if you eat it. Shameless boasting. We'll kill you all later, a female cultivator said coldly. The female cultivator who spoke was tall and slender with a beautiful face. She could be considered a top-grade beauty. Her cultivation was clearly extraordinary. Although the Dao Saint Palace cultivators weren't weak, it was obvious that they weren't a match for the three sacred devils. They were being suppressed more and more. Lin Feng stood in the distance. He naturally didn't care about the Dao Saint Palace cultivators. He would wait until the three sacred devils killed the Dao Saint Palace cultivators before he attacked and killed the three sacred devils. At this moment, a red light flashed between heaven and earth. A treasured sword flew out from the red light. The power of the treasured sword was truly terrifying. With a light shake of the void immediately collapsed. The treasured sword slashed towards the three holy demons. The sound of something being torn apart was suddenly heard. One of the sacred devils was killed by the treasured sword. Oh no, it's an expert from the Dao Saint Palace. Run. The other two sacred devils' expressions changed abruptly. They turned and fled. The two sacred devils fled separately. This way, their chances of escaping were higher. The treasured sword quickly chased after one of the sacred devils. That sacred devil was also killed. At this moment, a sacred devil fled in Lin Feng's direction. Lin Feng slapped at the sacred devil. "You're courting death." The fleeing sacred devil couldn't help but shout. Its sharp claws clawed at Lin Feng. Bang! With a violent collision, Lin Feng and the fleeing sacred devil collided. The fleeing sacred devil's body exploded. Lin Feng refined the sacred devil into a sacred devil fruit. At this moment, a woman flew over from afar. She was also from the Dao Saint Palace. She was tall and wore a long red dress. She was also extremely beautiful. She looked somewhat similar to the woman who was leading the group. "Senior sister." The group bowed to the woman. "Big sister." The female cultivator who was originally the leader of the group also bowed to the woman. However, she called the woman Big Sister. It seemed that they were sisters. Chapter 4291. The woman nodded, indicating that there was no need to be so courteous. Then, she walked towards Lin Feng and said, "Brother, you're really powerful. You killed a subimmortal holy devil so easily. I'm Xiaorushuan. May I know your name?" Lin Feng looked at Xiaorushuan indifferently. He didn't have a good impression of the Dao Saint Palace. Therefore, he wasn't interested in befriending them. Lin Feng couldn't be bothered with the woman. Just as he was about to leave, Xiaorushuan's younger sister suddenly exclaimed, "Sister, the sect has found the whereabouts of the Holy Devil Emperor. They're summoning us." Lin Feng stopped when he heard the female cultivator's words. The people of the Dao Saint Palace were really resourceful. They actually managed to find the demonic Saint Emperor. He could make use of these people and follow them to find the Holy Devil Emperor. In fact, Lin Feng knew this as well. Now, ordinary Saint Devil fruits had limited effect on his cultivation. He needed to find a sage devil fruit of the immortal realm. Only then could he raise his cultivation. The holy devil fruits he had obtained before were only subimmortal holy devil fruits. Lin Feng had only killed the Holy Devil Emperor casually. Lin Feng didn't necessarily choose to refine a subimmortal holy devil fruit. This was because even if he refined it, the effects on his body wouldn't be particularly ideal. Therefore, he might as well leave it for his woman. However, the holy devil fruit formed by the Holy Devil Emperor was different. Even the holy devil fruits formed by the loose immortal holy devils couldn't be compared to the Holy Devil Emperor's holy devil fruit. They weren't even on the same level. Apart from the Holy Demon Emperor's holy demon fruit, the Holy Demon Emperor also knew many secrets. Lin Feng knew that if he could suppress the Holy Demon Emperor, he would be able to obtain many benefits. "Young master, do you want to join us to deal with the Holy Devil Emperor? We'll definitely give you a share of the loot." Xiaorushuan invited. "I'll do as you say." Lin Feng cupped his fists. Then, the group quickly rushed to the rendezvous point. On the way, Lin Feng introduced himself. The two of them could be considered acquaintances, and they chatted a lot along the way. Lin Feng obtained a lot of information from Xiaorushuan. When Lin Feng had been searching for holy devils, he hadn't been able to find any traces of holy devils. The first reason was that a large number of holy devils had died during this period of time. The second reason was that when the Holy Devil Emperor was born, About 100 holy devils had sacrificed themselves to help the Holy Devil Emperor transcend his tribulation. There weren't many holy devils left to begin with. After sacrificing themselves to help the Holy Devil Emperor emerge, there were very few holy devils left. Moreover, most of their cultivations were not particularly strong. Upon hearing this news, Lin Feng's mood was actually quite bad, because he was still thinking of killing more holy devils to break through his cultivation. The holy devil fruit of the subimmortal realm was no longer of much use. Lin Feng could only kill holy devils of the itinerant immortal realm and above to help him break through. But now, it seemed like this was just an extravagant hope. Even if he could kill the Holy Devil Emperor, he probably wouldn't be able to break through with just the holy devil fruit. After all, Lin Feng was different from ordinary people. Lin Feng's accumulation was too great. It was too difficult for him to break through. Is Lin Gongzi thinking of breaking through with the holy devil fruit? Xiao Rushuan was a meticulous person. She couldn't help but ask. That's right. Lin Feng nodded. With Lin Gongzi's cultivation, if he joins our Dao Saint Palace, he'll definitely be able to obtain the position of a deacon. The position of a deacon is already quite high. He'll be given some Dao source every year. With the Dao source, breaking through won't be a problem. Xiao Rushuan said. Dao source? What's that? Lin Feng asked curiously. It's a type of great Dao origin created by the ancient weapon, Heavenly Dao Limitless Diagram. After devouring it, it'll be of great help to one's cultivation. There's a Dao Source Immortal Palace in our Dao Saint Palace. It's said that the Dao Source Immortal Palace stores the Dao Source Immortal Palace that has been formed over tens of thousands of years. It's the most sacred place in our Dao Saint Palace. Xiao Rushuan said. Dao Source Immortal Palace? Lin Feng's eyelids twitched. What a great opportunity, what a great opportunity. Originally, Lin Feng was still worried that he wouldn't be able to break through to Emperor Realm with the help of the Holy Devil Fruit. But now that he knew of another way to break through, he was delighted. Should he sneak into the Dao Saint Palace and think of a way to rob the Dao Source Immortal Palace? Lin Feng's lips curled into a smile. Hee. This trip to the Dao Saint Palace is inevitable. The Demon Lord's voice resounded in Lin Feng's mind. Demon Lord, you want to devour the Dao Source Immortal Palace's Dao Source Immortal Palace too? Lin Feng asked curiously. Of course, I've heard of this Dao Source before. It's extremely effective. If we can obtain enough Dao Source Immortal Palace's Dao Source, we can all break through. BB, Xiaolong, Emperor Archaic, the immemorial ancestral insect, the dragon rabbit, the insect swarm, and even your avatar can break through. The Dao Saint Palace's Dao Source Immortal Palace has been accumulating for tens of thousands of years. It's definitely enough for us. The Demon Lord chuckled. Lin Feng couldn't help but look forward to it. He couldn't wait to rob the Dao Source Immortal Palace. He looked at Xiao Rushuan and said, after we kill the Saint Devil Queen, I'll have to trouble you to introduce me. Of course. Xiao Rushuan said with a smile. Soon, they arrived at another area. Many cultivators from the Dao Saint Palace were gathered here. Senior brother Yang Longtian. After arriving, a group of people bowed to a young man. This person was no ordinary person. It was said that he was one of the top 10 disciples of the Dao Saint Palace and was a super genius. Although he was only a sub-immortal, it was said that he could fight against a rogue immortal. Although he wasn't as heaven-defying as Diju Yi, it was still terrifying enough. Yang Longtian nodded. Suddenly, Yang Longtian frowned slightly. He looked at Lin Feng in the crowd. This was his first time seeing Lin Feng, so he was unfamiliar with Lin Feng. Who's this? Yang Longtian asked. Xiao Rushuan said, Senior brother, this is Lin Feng, Lin Gongzi, a friend of mine. He's very strong and will soon join the Dao Saint Palace, so I brought him along to kill the Saint Devil King. Yang Longtian suddenly snorted and said, so he's not a disciple of the Dao Saint Palace yet? Since he's not a disciple of the Dao Saint Palace, what right does he have to participate? There are many experts in the Dao Saint Palace, so there's no need for outsiders to participate. After that, Yang Longtian turned to look at Lin Feng and said coldly, Kid, there's nothing for you to do here. You can scram now. Chapter 4292. Xiaorushuan's expression turned grave when she heard Yang Longtian humiliating Lin Feng. This was because she had already said that Lin Feng was her friend. Yang Longtian could ask Lin Feng to leave, but there was no need for him to speak so harshly. In fact, there was a reason why Yang Longtian did not give Xiaorushuan any face. Firstly, Yang Longtian was a cultivator under Di Jue. Xiaorushuan, on the other hand, was under another genius from the Dao Saint Palace who had a chance to fight for the position of palace master in the future. Therefore, on the surface, both parties might consider that they were disciples of the same sect and would not directly fall out with each other. However, they would secretly fight to the death. Secondly, Di Jue had broken through to the bodiless immortal realm earlier. This had greatly boosted the morale of the Dao Saint Palace cultivators who had sided with Di Jue. With Di Jue's support, these people were a little complacent. Senior brother Yang, what do you mean by this? Xiaorushuan's beautiful face turned cold. Although Xiaorushuan was not ranked in the top 10 of the Dao Saint Palace disciples, she was still ranked in the top 10. However, she was also a figure in the top 20, and her status was quite extraordinary. Yang Longtian did not give Xiaorushuan any face. Naturally, she was enraged. She went tit for tat with Yang Longtian. The surrounding Dao Saint Palace disciples were shocked. They did not expect Yang Longtian and Xiaorushuan to argue at this time. Both of them had extraordinary statuses in the sect. It would be fine if they were just having a small argument. However, if they were to fight, the implications would be too great. Junior sister Xia, remember your identity. You're from the Dao Saint Palace. What? Are you going to help an outsider deal with your senior brother in the sect? Everyone in the sect is watching, Yang Longtian said nonchalantly. This fellow had a knife hidden in his smile. He looked extremely sinister. His words were like a needle hidden in silk floss. If Xiaorushuan insisted on arguing with Yang Longtian, she would inevitably be criticized. Lin Feng said, Fairy, let me deal with this matter. Xiaorushuan looked at Lin Feng. When she saw Lin Feng's confident expression, she thought of Lin Feng's powerful strength and nodded. She also wanted to see how Lin Feng would deal with this matter. Come here, said Lin Feng to Yang Longtian, beckoning him with his finger. It was as if he was ordering his servants around. Usually, it was extremely impolite to beckon others to go over with a finger. This sort of behavior was extremely offensive. What more now? This was an extremely sensitive time. Therefore, when they saw Lin Feng beckoning Yang Longtian over with his finger, the corners of their mouths twitched violently. As one of the top 10 disciples of the Dao Saint Palace, Yang Longtian's strength was unfathomable. His prestige among the disciples was extremely high. That was why Lin Feng looked down on him so much. Naturally, Yang Longtian was furious. Brat, do you know what you are doing? Yang Longtian looked coldly at Lin Feng, his eyes flashing with killing intent. If one's gaze could kill someone, Lin Feng had probably been killed 1,000,000 times by Yang Longtian's ferocious gaze. Lin Feng said coldly, I asked you to come over. Didn't you hear me? Are your ears not working? Is this brat crazy? This brat dares to humiliate senior brother Yang Longtian like this. I think he's just digging his own grave. This brat is too arrogant, but he seems to have chosen the wrong person to be arrogant against. Just wait and see. This brat is dead meat. The disciples of the Dao Saint Palace started to discuss. Many people felt that Lin Feng was digging his own grave. Offending Yang Longtian would definitely not end well. Digging your own grave. Digging your own grave. You're really digging your own grave. This is the first time I've seen someone digging their own grave like you. Yang Longtian looked coldly at Lin Feng, his eyes flashing with killing intent. He took a step forward and walked towards Lin Feng. His body exuded an extremely terrifying aura. Many disciples of the Dao Saint Palace who were closer felt the terrifying aura from Yang Longtian's body and couldn't help but tremble. How dare you boast that you can destroy an ant with a flick of a finger? Lin Feng said indifferently. His words were too pretentious. Many people couldn't help but smile bitterly after hearing Lin Feng's words. Let's not talk about Lin Feng's cultivation first. Lin Feng's ability to anger others was definitely second to none. Yang Longtian was so angry at Lin Feng that his body trembled. Brat, I'll take your life. Yang Longtian roared and sent a palm strike towards Lin Feng. Yang Longtian unleashed a powerful divine ability. His ability was called the Great Heaven-Shattering Palm. It was rumored to be a powerful ability created by a titled god during the era of titled gods. Once this divine ability was unleashed, it would be extremely dangerous. It would destroy Buddha if it met Buddha, destroy God if it met God. It was powerful. It was shocking. Yang Longtian instantly arrived in front of Lin Feng. His terrifying palm strike was about to hit Lin Feng. That brat won't be killed by senior brother Yang Longtian's palm strike, right? That's really possible. Discussions broke out everywhere. Many people felt that Lin Feng might not even be able to take a single strike from Yang Longtian and would be beaten to death. Isn't Lin Gongzi underestimating his opponent too much? Xiaorushuan couldn't help but worry for Lin Feng. She knew that Lin Feng was very strong. But Yang Longtian was too terrifying. Yang Longtian's attack was about to hit Lin Feng, but Lin Feng still hadn't prepared any ability. Xiaorushuan felt that Lin Feng was too careless this time. He was still so careless when facing an expert like Yang Longtian. He would probably suffer a great loss. Scram. Facing Yang Longtian's attack, Lin Feng didn't even make a move. He just shouted coldly, and a powerful aura spread out. Lin Feng's terrifying aura directly hit Yang Longtian's body. Yang Longtian's attack was instantly interrupted. As for Yang Longtian himself, it was as if he had been struck by lightning. His body flew backward, and he coughed up blood in midair. Oh my God, what did I just see? Impossible, this is impossible. My eyes must be playing tricks on me, right? Many cultivators couldn't help but exclaim. They didn't dare to believe what they were seeing. Yang Longtian was an existence that could challenge rogue immortals, but he couldn't withstand Lin Feng's aura. This was too inconceivable. P.S. There was a mistake in the previous chapter. Lin Feng broke through to the Holy Emperor realm. It was written as breaking through to the Emperor Grandmaster realm, but it has been corrected. Brothers and sisters, please come to QQ to read or subscribe to the Archean Dragonesque Elephant Technique. It's more than 10 yuan a month, please. Life isn't easy. My wife is about to give birth. I want to earn some money for milk powder. Chapter 4293. I can't believe he's so powerful. Xiaorushuan's pretty face was filled with shock and emotion. Lin Feng's strength had deeply shaken her to the core. Xiaorushuan had a feeling that everything was unreal. Xiaorushuan's younger sister and the others were just as shocked as Xiaorushuan. Lin Feng's strength had overturned everything they knew. In their memories, Lin Feng was a young cultivator, but he had such combat strength. There were very few people like him. Even the top 10 disciples of the Dao Saint Palace could not do this. There were a few geniuses in the Dao Saint Palace who had broken through the Godstone and walked out. Only they could do this. This can't be real. This can't be real. This can't be real. Yang Longtian simply couldn't accept what was happening. He kept yelling, and had already lost his composure. It was no wonder. He was such a proud person, but now, all of his dignity had been trampled on by Lin Feng. This feeling almost drove him crazy. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Yang Longtian's eyes turned blood red. Yang Longtian, who had always been smooth sailing, had suffered such a heavy blow. He could not take it anymore. He swore. No matter what, he had to kill Lin Feng. He wanted revenge, and the only way was to kill Lin Feng. Only then could he avenge himself. Yang Longtian's body started burning. He was burning his essence blood to increase his combat strength. He was burning his essence blood to kill Lin Feng. Blazing sun burns the sky. Yang Longtian roared as he condensed a huge blazing sun. The blazing sun burned fiercely. Every time it burned, the terrifying light of the sun would distort the void. The blazing sun pressed down on Lin Feng. Lin Feng sneered. You don't know what's good for you. I didn't kill you just now out of respect for Fairy Xiaorushuan. If you want to die, I don't mind taking your life. Lin Feng's voice was extremely cold. He reached out his hand and slapped at Yang Longtian. A huge energy handprint condensed in the void. The energy palm instantly shattered Yang Longtian's condensed divine ability. Then, he charged at Yang Longtian. Spare me! Spare me! Yang Longtian screamed in horror. That energy handprint was simply too terrifying. Yang Longtian simply couldn't contend against it. After sensing the energy handprint's aura, Yang Longtian was shocked. Yang Longtian felt a deep sense of despair. Lin Feng looked indifferent, ignoring Yang Longtian's pleas. He was about to kill Yang Longtian. Suddenly, a voice resounded. "Fellow Taoist, my disciple offended you and acted recklessly. Even 10 deaths wouldn't be enough to atone for his sins. However, I hope that you can spare him on account of his youth and ignorance. What do you think?" After hearing this voice, Lin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes. Yang Longtian's lifespan was around 30,000 years old. His own was only a little over 100 years old. Lin Feng was rather speechless when the owner of this voice said that he would spare Yang Longtian on account of his youth and ignorance. Of course, Lin Feng didn't continue to attack Yang Longtian. The person who had spoken was definitely an expert at the level of a wandering immortal, and his cultivation level seemed to be rather high. Lin Feng dispersed the palm in the void and looked to his left. An old man stepped out of the void. "Forefather." Upon seeing the old man, the Tao Saint Palace's disciples all bowed to him. Lin Feng had heard that there were at least a dozen immortals in the Tao Saint Palace. To the disciples of the Tao Saint Palace, these immortals were naturally on the same level as the forefather. At this moment, everyone was extremely shocked because this ancestor called the young cultivator fellow Taoist. Didn't that mean that in the forefather's eyes, the young cultivator was on the same level as the forefather? Thinking of this, many people's hearts couldn't help but set off monstrous waves. "Who are you?" Lin Feng glanced at the old man and asked. "I am Wu Yazi of the Tao Saint Palace. How should I address you, fellow Taoist?" The old man asked with cupped fists. "Lin Feng, Lin Feng, Lin Feng, Lin Feng." Many people tried to recall this name, hoping to find someone like him in their memories. However, no one found anything. Wu Yazi said, "So it's fellow Taoist Lin. My apologies." He then looked at Yang Longtian and said, "You bastard. Why aren't you kowtowing and apologizing to fellow Taoist Lin?" I was wrong. Please forgive me, senior." Yang Longtian snapped out of his daze. Even the forefather was on the same level as this person. What was he to this cultivator? Thus, Yang Longtian kowtowed and begged for mercy. He used a lot of force and banged his head loudly on the ground. "Since fellow Taoist Wu is begging for mercy, I'll spare your worthless life. Remember, don't be so arrogant in the future." Lin Feng said coldly. Yes. This junior will remember." Yang Longtian quickly said. Now, he could finally heave a sigh of relief. His little life was saved. Many people smiled bitterly. The Tao Saint Palace was a terrifying power. Who would dare to offend it? But now, one of the top 10 disciples of the Tao Saint Palace was kowtowing and apologizing. After being forgiven, he even had a happy expression. This made everyone feel complicated. "Fellow Taoist Lin, there are 2 other fellow Taoists waiting for me not far away. Why don't you come with me? If we work together to kill the Saint Devil Emperor, we can share all of his secrets. What do you think, fellow Taoist Lin?" Wu Yazi asked. "No problem." Lin Feng nodded. It was impossible for the disciples of the Tao Saint Palace to kill the Saint Devil Emperor. At most, they could only gather information. Wu Yazi then looked at the group of disciples of Tao Saint Palace and said, "I already know about the news of the Holy Demon Emperor. All of you can leave now. Don't go to the place where the Holy Demon Emperor appears." "Yes, ancestor," the disciples of the Tao Saint Palace hurriedly said. They originally wanted to kill the Saint Devil Emperor, but now that the ancestor had spoken, they naturally didn't dare to disobey. "Fellow Taoist Lin, let's go now," Wu Yazi said with a smile. "All right." Lin Feng nodded. Lin Feng then left with Wu Yazi. After they left, the disciples of the Tao Saint Palace were in an uproar. "Sister, that Lin Gongzi is so powerful. I wonder if he'll join the Tao Saint Palace. If he does, can you help me and Lin Gongzi be together?" Xia Rushuan's younger sister was called Xia Ruyue. She walked to Xia Rushuan's side and whispered. Chapter 4294. Xia Rushuan had always doted on her younger sister. However, After hearing Xiao Ruyue's words, Xiao Rushuan felt an inexplicable unhappiness in her heart. She did not expect her younger sister to fancy Lin Feng. However, this seemed to be something normal. Lin Feng was so young. He was so powerful. He was so handsome. He was simply the Prince Charming of every woman's dreams. Before Lin Feng, Xiao Rushuan had only seen one person who could be compared to Lin Feng. That was Crown Prince Dijue. However, Crown Prince Dijue's character was gloomy and terrifying. He was also vicious and merciless. Crown Prince Dijue's high and mighty attitude made Xiao Rushuan feel extremely disgusted. Xiao Rushuan did not have a good impression of Crown Prince Dijue. On the other hand, although Lin Feng was also a heaven-defying character like Crown Prince Dijue, Lin Feng's character was gentle and sunny. The more she looked at him, the more she liked him. The world of cultivators was different from the world of ordinary people. Ordinary people's feelings were reserved. However, cultivators' feelings were usually passionate. Cultivators knew how cruel this world was. Therefore, they would not hide their feelings. If it was something else, Xiao Rushuan would definitely agree to Xiao Ruyue's request. However, Xiao Ruyue wanted Xiao Rushuan to matchmake her with Lin Feng. This was something Xiao Rushuan could not do. In other words, Xiao Rushuan did not want to do this at all. Of course, Xiao Rushuan did not want to hurt her sister too much. She said, "We don't know what will happen in the future. Let's observe the situation first before we talk about this." Okay. Xiao Ruyue also felt that her sister's words made sense. Therefore, she quickly nodded. On the other side, Lin Feng and Wu Yazi quickly met up with two other people. These two people were also experts from the Dao Saint Palace. One of them was called Emperor Bai Yin. This person had the appearance of a middle-aged cultivator. He had a square face and was imposing without being angry. The other person was called Xia Yuanxiang. This person had a deep relationship with Xiao Rushuan and Xiao Ruyue. It was said that Xia Yuanxiang was an elder of their clan who had sealed themselves in the divine stone. In fact, Xia Yuanxiang wasn't that old. She looked to be in her 30s, charming and mature. She was simply flirtatious. Back then, when he sealed himself, he cultivated for 250,000 years. In the world of cultivators, this age could be considered extremely young. Her talent was very strong, and in addition, it was a golden age for cultivation back then. So her cultivation improved very quickly. Who is this fellow Taoist? Xia Yuanxiang looked at Lin Feng in surprise. Xia Yuanxiang was very puzzled that Wu Yazi would bring such a young cultivator here. Wu Yazi said, "This fellow Taoist is Lin Feng." Xia Yuanxiang and Bai Yindi were both very surprised. Wu Yazi's cultivation was stronger than theirs. However, Wu Yazi actually called this excessively young human cultivator fellow Taoist. This meant that Wu Yazi valued this young human cultivator very much. Could it be that this young human cultivator had the same strength as Wu Yazi? This was too unbelievable, wasn't it? After all, he was so young. Of course, Xia Yuanxiang and Bai Yindi were both very knowledgeable and thoughtful people. Although they were very shocked and had some doubts about Lin Feng's strength, they didn't know how strong he was. However, they didn't show it on their faces. Then, Wu Yazi introduced Xia Yuanxiang and Bai Yindi to Lin Feng. "Fellow Taoist Lin, this beautiful fairy is called Xia Yuanxiang. This fellow Taoist is called Bai Yindi. Nice to meet you." Lin Feng cupped his fists and said, "Fellow Taoist Lin, you're too kind." The two of them didn't dare to be negligent, so they cupped their fists and said, this was how they got to know each other. They didn't stop and quickly headed to the place where the Holy Demon Emperor was hiding. Wu Yazi said, "On the way here, I met a few groups of cultivators from the Dao Sacred Palace, so I asked them to disperse." Xia Yuanxiang said, "That's good too. They can't participate in such a big battle." This time, the Holy Demon Emperor was hiding in the blood-refining Great World's blood-refining mountain range. In the past, the blood-refining mountain range was said to be a land of death. However, for some unknown reason, this land of death had been abandoned. It was no longer as strong as it used to be. When Lin Feng heard Wu Yazi and the others talking about the blood-refining mountain range, he couldn't help but feel surprised. Lin Feng said, "Isn't this land of death supposed to hide countless secrets and dangers? How could such a place be abandoned?" Wu Yazi said, "It does sound a little unbelievable, but this land of death has indeed been abandoned. As for how it was abandoned, I don't know. A land of death was a place that even the mastermind didn't dare to set foot in. From this, one could see how terrifying a land of death was. However, the blood-refining mountain range was now abandoned. It was really unbelievable. Of course, Lin Feng wouldn't bother thinking about this matter. Instead, he was thinking about how to get rid of the Holy Demon Emperor. If he had the chance to take the Holy Demon Emperor for himself, Lin Feng didn't mind taking the Holy Demon Emperor for himself. 10 days later, they arrived at the outer region of the blood-refining mountain range. Within 100 miles of the blood-refining mountain range, blood qi was surging. The blood-refining mountain range was located in the deepest part of the blood qi. The Holy Demon Emperor must have devoured enough flesh and soul essences. Therefore, he's hiding inside to cultivate in seclusion to increase his strength, Wu Yazi said. Lin Feng nodded and said, "So that's how it is. Let's be careful later. Don't fall into his trap." Wu Yazi and the others nodded. None of them dared to be careless when facing a terrifying existence like the Holy Demon Emperor. After all, they would die miserably if they did. The four of them entered the area shrouded in blood mist and carefully walked inside. The blood-refining mountain range was very large. After entering, the surroundings were very quiet. It was so quiet that it was a little strange. If it was in the past, they would have been attacked by many terrifying creatures after entering the land of death. However, even though there was no danger, Lin Feng and the others were still very cautious. Suddenly, a sinister laughter came from all directions. "The Holy Demon Emperor has discovered us," White Yama said in a deep voice. At that moment, a sinister voice resounded above the mountain range. "Reckless fools! How dare you trespass into the blood-refining mountain range? I'll make sure you die a horrible death later." As soon as the voice finished speaking, countless large arrays in the blood-refining mountain range were activated. Lin Feng and the others were quickly separated by the large arrays. The Holy Demon Emperor seemed to want to kill Lin Feng and the others one by one. Chapter 4295. Lin Feng carefully sensed the great array around him and discovered that it was extremely powerful. The great array here was built on the basis of an abandoned land of death. It was completely different from ordinary great arrays. Therefore, the great array here was extremely terrifying. Even with Lin Feng's proficiency in formations, it wouldn't be easy for him to break it in a short amount of time. Lin Feng was very clear about this. Lin Feng looked around cautiously. He didn't know who the Saint Devil Emperor would attack first, but Lin Feng was very clear about one thing. No matter who the Saint Devil Emperor attacked first, the others wouldn't have it easy either. Everyone was separated by the great array. No matter who the Saint Devil Emperor came first, they would have to fight. Unless the person who fought the Saint Devil Emperor first was able to defeat the Saint Devil Emperor. Suddenly, Lin Feng sensed a gloomy qi, even though that gloomy qi was extremely weak. It was very faint, to the point that he couldn't sense it at all. If it were someone else, they might not be able to sense it at all. However, Lin Feng's senses were too strong. Although the other party had perfectly concealed his aura, it was impossible for him to hide it from Lin Feng. "This guy has his eyes on me," Lin Feng thought. A thought flashed through Lin Feng's mind. In the next instant, Lin Feng used instant transmission and disappeared from where he stood. After Lin Feng disappeared, a black shadow appeared where he had originally been. The black shadow wanted to devour Lin Feng, but it missed. Lin Feng appeared tens of meters away. He looked coldly at the black shadow and said indifferently, "Is this all the Saint Devil Emperor has? I thought you were a powerful figure, but it turns out that you're just a pitiful worm who only knows how to sneak attack from behind." Kikik. The black shadow laughed. The Shengma Emperor suddenly let out a sinister laugh and said, "Boy, your provocation won't work on me." Lin Feng shrugged and said, "I'm not trying to provoke you. You're not worthy of my provocation." The Saint Devil Emperor's face darkened. He had thought that he could deal with Lin Feng calmly, but now he was angered by Lin Feng's words. Lin Feng was best at arguing. He had never lost to anyone before. The Saint Devil Emperor was naturally no match for Lin Feng. Although he said that he didn't care about being ridiculed and looked down on, he didn't care. In reality, how could he not care about it? Such words were actually just self-deception. Of course, the Saint Devil Emperor wasn't an ordinary person. He gloomily looked at Lin Feng and said, "Brat, I can't be bothered to talk to you. I just want to eat you. You can die now." The Saint Devil Emperor rushed toward Lin Feng and sent a palm strike at Lin Feng. The Saint Devil Emperor's palm strike was so terrifying that Lin Feng couldn't help but be shocked. Facing the Saint Devil Emperor's attack, Lin Feng didn't dare to be careless. His avatar, the magic lotus, the ruler's armor, and the golden dwarf's power instantly fused with his body. Then, Lin Feng sent a palm strike at the Saint Devil Emperor. Bang! The two sides fiercely collided. Suddenly, Lin Feng felt as if he had collided with an ancient mountain. Even the surrounding void was shattered by the shockwave. Numerous cracks appeared on the surface. As for Lin Feng, he was directly sent flying. The Saint Devil Emperor's combat power was so terrifying that Lin Feng couldn't help but be shocked. You can actually take my palm strike? The Saint Devil Emperor stared at Lin Feng in disbelief. The fact that Lin Feng could take his palm strike had shocked the Saint Devil Emperor greatly. However, the Saint Devil Emperor then said contemptuously, "So what if you can take my palm strike? An ant is still an ant. I only used 30% of my strength earlier. If I were to get serious, you would already be dead. However, it's been a long time since I've met such a young and powerful cultivator like you. It wouldn't be fun to kill you directly, so I plan to have some fun with you. I want you to die in endless fear." "Oh? With just you? What shameless boasting. You even dare to say such words." The biggest difference between humans and animals is that humans have self-awareness, but you don't. Lin Feng replied indifferently. The corner of the Saint Devil Emperor's mouth twitched violently. Wasn't Lin Feng indirectly saying that he wasn't a human? How could the Saint Devil Emperor tolerate that? Darkness descends. The Saint Devil Emperor's cold voice resounded throughout heaven and earth. Following that, he walked step by step toward Lin Feng. Suddenly, darkness engulfed everything. It covered the sky and covered the sun. The light was completely devoured, leaving behind only eternal darkness. Lin Feng couldn't even see his own hands. In this world of darkness, even the slightest movement could make one tense up. Now that darkness had enveloped heaven and earth, if Lin Feng's guess was right, the Saint Devil Emperor would definitely take advantage of the darkness to launch a sneak attack on him. If it were other experts, they might not even bother to use such a method. However, the Saint Devil Emperor wasn't one of them. The Saint Devil Emperor was incomparably terrifying. If the Saint Devil Emperor launched a sneak attack in the darkness, the situation would be extremely dangerous. Lin Feng knew this very well. The situation seemed to be extremely disadvantageous for Lin Feng, but in reality, Lin Feng had a way to deal with it. Lin Feng took out the Primal Chaos Ancient Lamp. The Primal Chaos Ancient Lamp immediately dispersed the darkness and illuminated the surroundings. "I see you." Lin Feng looked at the Saint Devil Emperor, who was a dozen meters away. The Saint Devil Emperor had been silently approaching Lin Feng, but he hadn't expected Lin Feng's treasure to disperse the darkness. Lin Feng had also discovered the Saint Devil Emperor. After being discovered by Lin Feng, the Saint Devil Emperor's expression turned cold. The Saint Devil Emperor hadn't lied earlier. He had only used 30% of his strength when he attacked. Therefore, even after being discovered by Lin Feng, the Saint Devil Emperor didn't panic. He just preferred to launch sneak attacks on others. His preference for sneak attacks was determined by his personality. In reality, the Saint Devil Emperor was incomparably powerful. Ultimate Saint Devil Fist. The Saint Devil Emperor sneered and threw a punch at Lin Feng. In the past, the Saint Devil Emperor was also an incomparably terrifying existence. However, his combat strength had been greatly reduced after he reincarnated. Back then, he had created the ultimate profound. It had even shocked the heavens. Although the Saint Devil Emperor's cultivation realm had fallen, he could still use the ultimate profound. The ultimate Saint Devil Fist was a terrifying punch that the Saint Devil Emperor had unleashed using the ultimate profound. After being enveloped by the Saint Devil Emperor's ultimate Saint Devil Fist, Lin Feng immediately felt the aura of death enveloping him. Chapter 4296. The Holy Devil Emperor's ultimate profound was truly worthy of its reputation. It was truly terrifying. Lin Feng couldn't help but take it seriously. After sensing the terrifying might of the ultimate profound, Lin Feng had no intention of fighting the Holy Devil Emperor head-on, because Lin Feng had too many powerful magic treasures on him. Seeing how terrifying the Holy Devil Emperor's ultimate profound was, Lin Feng decided to use all his magic treasures to deal with the Holy Devil Emperor. Therefore, there was no need for him to fight the Holy Devil Emperor head-on. What good would it do him to fight the Holy Devil Emperor head-on? There was no benefit at all. Swish! Lin Feng waved his hand. Suddenly, all kinds of magic treasures flew out. Seeing the various magic treasures floating in the air, Lin Feng's face revealed a confident expression. He activated more than a dozen powerful magic treasures and sent them flying towards the Holy Devil Emperor. Originally, the Holy Devil Emperor was full of confidence. In his opinion, Lin Feng wouldn't be able to resist his attack. But who would have thought that Lin Feng would take out so many magic treasures? Moreover, the power of these magic treasures was truly terrifying. Every single one of them contained unimaginably terrifying power. To be able to obtain such a magic treasure was a great opportunity. Lin Feng actually had so many powerful magic treasures. The Holy Devil Emperor couldn't help but be shocked. In truth, Lin Feng hadn't taken out some of his magic treasures to deal with the Holy Devil Emperor. For example, the ancient weapon, the devil bead, the ancient devil ring, the mysterious iron, and other treasures. Lin Feng still couldn't control these magic treasures for the time being. Lin Feng had only taken out a portion of the magic treasures that were easier for him to control and were more powerful. The demonic Saint Emperor's expression became extremely unsightly when he sensed the power emitted by the magic treasures. The Holy Devil Emperor couldn't help but feel that these magic treasures were very troublesome to deal with. Retreat. The Holy Devil Emperor's expression was very unsightly. He wanted to quickly suppress Lin Feng and then ruthlessly torture Lin Feng. But now, facing the attacks of Lin Feng's treasures, the Holy Devil Emperor had no choice but to quickly retreat. TSK. You boast so loudly, but when it comes to fighting, you're a coward. Lin Feng looked at the Holy Devil Emperor and mocked him. The Holy Demon Emperor was furious, but when he heard Lin Feng make fun of him, he was furious. The Shengma Emperor's face turned even uglier. He said coldly, "You're just relying on your Dharma treasure to commit murder. Is that something to be proud of? What a joke." Lin Feng pursed his lips and said, "You're the one who's funny, right? You. If you don't even understand this principle, then you must have lived your life in vain." The Holy Devil Emperor's expression was gloomy as he said, "Brat, I will soon make you kneel on the ground like a dog and beg me to spare your life." As soon as he finished speaking, the Holy Devil Emperor waved his hand. Suddenly, treasures flew out one after another. There were a total of 8 treasures. These 8 treasures were actually 8 small cauldrons. Lin Feng couldn't help but frown. Where did these 8 small cauldrons come from? He felt that the Holy Devil Emperor had taken out the 8 small cauldrons at this time because he was very confident in them. Otherwise, he wouldn't have taken them out at such a crucial time. Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter in his heart. He didn't know how strong the 8 small cauldrons were. Of course, no matter how strong the small cauldrons were, Lin Feng was incomparably confident in his treasures. Brat. The 8 small cauldrons I took out are called the Universe Immortal Suppressing Cauldrons. Rumor has it that these 8 small cauldrons were forged by the first Heaven and Earth Emperor during the era of titled gods. Once activated, the 8 small cauldrons will form a mysterious connection that can suppress the spirits of all heavens. The Holy Devil Emperor looked coldly at Lin Feng. Universe Immortal Suppressing Cauldrons? That's a pretty domineering name, but I think they're just 8 ordinary small cauldrons. You have the nerve to show them off? Lin Feng couldn't help but mock. 8 small cauldrons? The Holy Devil Emperor was furious when he saw Lin Feng looking down on his treasures. He gnashed his teeth and said, "I'll let you know how powerful my Universe Immortal Suppressing Cauldron is." Whoosh! Whoosh, whoosh. The universe immortal suppressing cauldron flew towards Lin Feng under the Holy Devil Emperor's control. One could vaguely see the universe immortal suppressing cauldron, forming an 8 trigrams diagram in the air. Lin Feng controlled a dozen powerful treasures to fly towards the universe immortal suppressing cauldron. However, when Lin Feng's treasures approached the universe immortal suppressing cauldron, many of them were greatly weakened. When the universe immortal suppressing cauldron flew over, the treasures were suppressed in the air. The universe immortal suppressing cauldron didn't have much offensive power. Its most powerful aspect was that it could suppress all kinds of treasures. Apart from suppressing treasures, it could also suppress cultivators. Lin Feng's treasures were many times stronger than the universe immortal suppressing cauldron. However, they were all suppressed by the universe immortal suppressing cauldron's special ability. None of the powerful magic treasures were able to display their full power. The universe immortal suppressing cauldron flew towards Lin Feng, trying to suppress Lin Feng as well. The situation was not good. At this moment, Lin Feng waved his hand, and the heaven-devouring jar flew out. The universe immortal suppressing cauldron tried to suppress Lin Feng's heaven-devouring jar, but the heaven-devouring jar emitted a powerful devouring power. The devouring power enveloped the universe immortal suppressing cauldron, trying to devour it. The heaven-devouring Devil Emperor's heaven-devouring jar. The Saint Devil Emperor's expression turned ugly when he saw the heaven-devouring jar. His universe immortal suppressing cauldron was not flawless. The universe immortal suppressing cauldron happened to be suppressed by the heaven-devouring jar. However, the Saint Devil Emperor soon heaved a sigh of relief. Because Lin Feng's sky-absorbing jar was incomplete, it wasn't complete. If it had been the complete heaven-devouring jar, that would have been too terrifying. The Saint Devil Emperor controlled the universe immortal suppressing cauldron to fly back. Lin Feng's heaven-devouring jar was unable to devour the universe immortal suppressing cauldron. Seeing the universe immortal suppressing cauldron break free from the heaven-devouring jar, Lin Feng couldn't help but feel that it was a pity. Boy, I have to admit that I've underestimated you. There are no eternal enemies in this world, only eternal benefits. Why do we have to fight to the death? Why don't we work together to deal with the other three and devour their essences? Their cultivation levels are high, and their essences are very useful to us. After we devour their essences, we can sneak into the Dao Saint Palace and loot the Dao Origin Immortal Palace. Isn't that a win-win situation? What do you think of my suggestion? The Saint Devil Emperor suddenly said. He actually wanted to work with Lin Feng to deal with Wu Yazi and the others. Chapter 4297. The Saint Devil Emperor's suggestion was indeed not bad. However, Lin Feng did not intend to agree. Although Lin Feng did not have a good impression of the people from the Dao Saint Palace, Lin Feng was not a person who would go back on his word. Since he was going to work with Wu Yazi and the others to deal with the Saint Devil Emperor, he naturally would not turn around and scheme against Wu Yazi and the others with the Saint Devil Emperor. Not to mention, Lin Feng could not trust the Saint Devil Emperor's character. This fellow was sinister and cunning. If he really cooperated with this fellow, he might be tricked by this fellow in the end. However, it was not an easy task to deal with the Saint Devil Emperor in this great array. Lin Feng originally wanted to directly reject the Saint Devil Emperor, but on second thought, could he use this opportunity to feign civility with the Saint Devil Emperor, gain the trust of the Saint Devil Emperor, and then find an opportunity to deal with him? No matter what method he used against an unforgivable person like the Saint Devil Emperor, it would not be excessive. How many people had died miserably at the hands of the Saint Devil Emperor? Killing the Saint Devil Emperor was upholding justice on behalf of the heavens. Lin Feng said, "All right, I can cooperate with you." Hearing Lin Feng agree to his request, the Saint Devil Emperor immediately laughed sinisterly in his heart. "Brat, do you really think that I want to cooperate with you? I just want to borrow your strength to kill the other three. After killing them, I will launch a sudden sneak attack on you, kill you, and then devour your origin." The Saint Devil Emperor seemed to have already seen the scene of him killing Lin Feng. Of course, the Saint Devil Emperor knew that Lin Feng was a rather vigilant person. Perhaps Lin Feng would be on guard. making it impossible for him to find an opportunity to attack later. However, this was not a big deal. If he couldn't find an opportunity to attack later, he could find an opportunity to do so on the way to the Dao Saint Palace. No matter how cautious a person was, there would always be a time when they would reveal a flaw. Therefore, the Saint Demon Emperor believed that Lin Feng would also reveal a flaw, and when Lin Feng revealed a flaw, it would be the time when Lin Feng would die in his hands. The Saint Devil Monarch had been eyeing Lin Feng's bloodline for a long time. He was determined to devour Lin Feng. Ha 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 ha, that's great. You've made the right choice. I believe that if the two of us join forces, we'll be invincible. Let's go and kill the other three. The Shengma Emperor said. No problem. Lin Feng nodded. Light and shadow flashed before their eyes as the Holy Demon Emperor and Lin Feng arrived at another formation, trapping Wu Yazi within. As soon as they arrived, a violent fluctuation surged out. Xia Yuanxiang and the White Yama passed through the formation and reunited with Wu Yazi. Damn it! They're all from the Dao Saint Palace, so they must have a way to contact each other. Now that the three of them have gathered together, it'll be much more difficult to kill them. The Saint Devil Emperor said with a gloomy expression. Said Lin Feng. Try to use a deployment spell to separate them, said Lin Feng. The Shengma Emperor curled his lips and said, It seems that you really don't know anything about Great Arrays. These three people have already been separated by the Great Array once. With their strength, they must have taken precautions. Although the Great Array is strong, it's not easy to separate loose immortals who are already on guard. I see. I've learned a lot. Lin Feng nodded. He pretended that he didn't know anything about formations. Lin Feng said, How about this? You attack them in the open, and I'll hide in the dark and ambush them. That way, we'll be able to catch them off guard. What do you think? The Saint Devil Emperor's eyes darted around. He was a suspicious person. Even though he had already cooperated with Lin Feng, he still didn't trust Lin Feng very much. The Shengma Emperor said, How about this? You go and meet up with them. Then, you sneak attack them. Once you injure them, I'll immediately appear and we'll kill them together. The Saint Devil Emperor was truly cunning. He actually wanted Lin Feng to ambush the three experts. Lin Feng naturally wouldn't do such a thing. Only a fool would agree to the Saint Devil Emperor's request. Lin Feng said, There are three of them, but I'm alone. If there's only one of them, I'll have a high chance of success if I ambush him. However, there are three of them. If I ambush them, I won't be able to ambush all three at once. At most, I'll be able to ambush one of them. That won't guarantee that I'll be able to kill the other one. If they suddenly surround me, I'll be in great danger. Don't be afraid. I'll show myself when the time comes, said the Saint Devil Emperor. Lin Feng looked at the Saint Devil Emperor with disdain. Do you think I'll believe your nonsense? The Saint Devil Emperor's gaze turned gloomy. Indeed, he hadn't expected Lin Feng to believe him. If Lin Feng had believed him, he would have suspected Lin Feng instead. The Saint Devil Emperor asked, Then what do you think we should do? If you have a good idea, I'm fine with it. Lin Feng said, I'll stick to the idea from before. You attack from the front, and when the battle reaches its climax, I'll ambush the three of them. As long as I can kill one of them, the remaining two will be easy to deal with. The Saint Devil Emperor's expression turned gloomy. What if you ambush me? Lin Feng had indeed planned to find an opportunity to attack the Holy Demon Emperor by surprise. However, Lin Feng naturally wouldn't say it aloud. He said, Why would I ambush you? We're allies. The Saint Devil Emperor couldn't help but sneer at Lin Feng's words. He didn't believe Lin Feng's words at all. Lin Feng said, There are arrays everywhere here. You control the arrays here. If I ambush you, I refuse to believe that you won't notice it. Of course I'll notice it, the Saint Devil Emperor said indifferently. Lin Feng cursed. F***CK. Since you can sense it, what are you worried about? Could it be that your guts have returned to your mother's womb after reincarnating? The corner of the Saint Devil Emperor's mouth twitched. Lin Feng actually dared to mock him like this. The Saint Devil Emperor wanted nothing more than to slap Lin Feng to death. Lin Feng's mouth was simply too sharp. The Saint Devil Emperor wasn't worried about Lin Feng ambushing him. The reason he hadn't agreed to the plan was because he wanted to see Lin Feng and the three experts of the Dao Saint Palace kill each other. After that, He would make his move and wipe out Lin Feng and the 3 experts of the Dao Saint Palace. However, it seemed that his wish was going to be dashed. After all, Lin Feng didn't agree to his suggestion at all. "All right, we'll do as you say," the Saint Devil Emperor said with a gloomy expression. Chapter 4298. Lin Feng smiled and said, "Then I wish you all the best. I'll hide behind them while you deal with them quickly. Don't waste too much time." "Don't worry. I'll do it as soon as possible," the Saint Devil Emperor said impatiently. Lin Feng then disappeared. "Damn it. This kid is too cunning. It seems like my wish to deal with him is going to fail. But it doesn't matter. I'll deal with the 3 experts of the Dao Saint Palace first, then I'll think of a way to deal with this kid." The Saint Devil Emperor couldn't help but think. Although he really wanted to kill Lin Feng, he knew that now wasn't the best time to do so. The Saint Devil Emperor began to activate the Grand Array. The densely packed Grand Arrays in the surroundings were activated, and those Grand Arrays emitted terrifying fluctuations. "Be careful. The Saint Devil Emperor is about to activate the large array," Wu Yazi said in a low voice. The 3 of them xickly took out their defensive treasures. Wu Yazi's was a 5 elements treasure cover. It emitted a 5 elements divine light that protected Wu Yazi. Xia Yuanxiang took out an umbrella-like treasure. It opened and floated in front of Xia Yuanxiang. Billions of rays of divine light surged out and protected Xia Yuanxiang. The white Yama held a shield in his hand. The shield was covered with runes. Countless runes flew out of the shield and circled around the white Yama. That shield also seemed to be a powerful defensive magic treasure. Rumble. At that moment, a series of loud noises rang out. Following that, all kinds of attacks covered the sky and covered the earth as they flew toward the 3 experts. Although many of the large arrays here had already been destroyed, some of the large arrays that were left behind were still very powerful. All kinds of attacks gathered together to form a terrifying destructive force. However, the weapons of the 3 experts were also very powerful. Therefore, when all kinds of powerful attacks were sent towards them, they were all blocked by the defensive weapons of the 3 experts. "Kikik." The Saint Devil Emperor laughed. The Saintly Devil Emperor let out a sinister laugh. "Do the 3 of you think you can escape the fate of death by relying on defensive magic treasures? Let me tell you, you're all going to die today. No one in the world can save you. Where's our other companion?" Wu Yazi asked in a deep voice. The Saint Devil Emperor sneered. "Dead. He's already dead. I devoured him. That brat's flesh and blood is simply too delicious. But now is not the time for you to worry about that brat. You should worry about your own life." As soon as the Shengma Emperor finished speaking, an even more powerful attack burst forth. In addition to the attacks of the various large arrays, the Saint Devil Emperor also unleashed powerful divine abilities. Powerful divine abilities bombarded the 3 powerhouses. Kacha Kacha. Under the Holy Devil Emperor's continuous attacks, the defensive system formed by the 3 experts' magic treasures began to crack. Although he had already expected this to happen. However, when they truly saw this scene, the faces of the 3 experts were still incomparably ugly. "We can't just sit here and wait for death. He must take the initiative to attack." If the Holy Devil Emperor had the absolute advantage, at that time, we'll be forced to retreat again and again. In the end, he will definitely die at the hands of the Holy Devil Emperor. Wu Yazi said in a deep voice. Xia Yuanxiang and Bai Yindi naturally agreed with Wu Yazi's words. "Bring out the immortal slaying puppet," Xia Yuanxiang said through gritted teeth. This time, they were extremely well prepared. They had brought along a supreme treasure like the immortal slaying puppet. The immortal slaying puppet was very powerful, but activating it would consume a large amount of blood essence. Moreover, the immortal slaying puppet was incomparably precious. Once activated, it would be destroyed, and its value would be completely gone. Therefore, the 3 of them did not want to use the immortal slaying puppet unless they had no other choice. However, now that Lin Feng had died, the 3 of them were in a precarious situation. They could not care less about that now. "All right, let's activate the immortal slaying puppet to deal with that guy," Bai Yindi said. Bai Yindi agreed when he saw Xia Yuanxiang. Wu Yazi could not refuse. Therefore, Wu Yazi waved his hand. The immortal slaying puppet flew out. Ignite my blood essence to strengthen the puppet. Immortal slaying puppet, quickly awaken. The three of them began to ignite their blood essence. The energy formed by the ignition of their blood essence was all injected into the immortal slaying puppet. The runes on the immortal slaying puppet immediately came to life. The runes exuded extremely powerful energy waves. They could feel the energy waves emanating from the runes. Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and Bai Yindi's faces lit up with joy. The immortal slaying puppet flashed and turned into a white-robed cultivator. Slash! The white-robed cultivator shouted. He leaped up and charged outside. In the blink of an eye, the white-robed cultivator turned into a beam of white immortal light. The white immortal light tore apart the great formations one by one. What was even more shocking was that the great formations that were torn apart actually repaired themselves on their own. It was extremely strange. However, the immortal slaying puppet had already arrived in front of the Shengma Emperor and slashed at him. The Shengma Emperor summoned a devil mountain to suppress the immortal light. However, the immortal light was too powerful. It shattered the devil mountain and rushed to the front of the Shengma Emperor, piercing through the Shengma Emperor's chest. However, the Shengma Emperor didn't die. He turned around and punched the immortal light that had pierced through his body. The immortal light shattered and turned into the immortal slaying puppet. You deserve to die. You deserve to die. I'll take your lives. The Shengma Emperor roared furiously. He frantically activated the great formations and attacked the three experts with various divine abilities. The three experts' faces changed. They were in danger if the immortal slaying puppet didn't kill the Shengma Emperor. The three experts only lasted an hour against the Shengma Emperor's crazy attacks before they were sent flying. They spat out mouthfuls of blood and their faces were pale. The Shengma Emperor was about to kill the three experts when Lin Feng silently appeared behind him. He punched at the Shengma Emperor. The Shengma Emperor was shocked. He turned around and punched at Lin Feng. The two sides collided. The Shengma Emperor's body rapidly aged. Lin Feng used the divine ability billions of years. It was a supreme divine ability recorded in the first part of the Great Reincarnation Art. It made people age rapidly and their battle prowess drop. Lin Feng's sneak attack was successful. He waved his hand and a great formation separated the three experts of the Dao Saint Palace from him and the Shengma Emperor. Lin Feng still needed the three experts of the Dao Saint Palace to enter the Dao Saint Palace. Therefore, he couldn't expose the fact that he had taken the Shengma Emperor for himself. If the three experts knew about it, Lin Feng's plan to sneak into the Dao Saint Palace and rob the Dao Source Immortal Palace would fail. Chapter 4299. He looked at his rapidly aging body and felt his strength rapidly fading away. The Saint Devil Emperor's killing intent sword. He had indeed been on guard against Lin Feng's sneak attack. However, he hadn't expected Lin Feng to succeed. He hadn't even noticed Lin Feng's sneak attack. How? How were you able to sneak up behind me without making a sound? The Saint Devil Emperor glared furiously at Lin Feng. Lin Feng calmly said, "Because I silently destroyed the array behind you. You acted like you didn't know anything about arrays, but it turns out that you were just plotting against me." The Saint Devil Emperor said coldly. Lin Feng shrugged and said, "That's right. Weren't you plotting against me as well? It's just that I made my move first." "Brat, do you think you can suppress me like this? You're gravely mistaken." The Saint Devil Emperor changed his hand seals repeatedly, trying to control the array to suppress Lin Feng. When the array completely suppressed Lin Feng, he would take out the immortal suppressing Inkuan Cauldron to deal with Lin Feng. The Saint Devil Emperor was extremely confident in himself. Even if his combat strength fell, he believed that he could defeat Lin Feng. The Saint Devil Emperor had plotted against Lin Feng because he wanted to use the simplest method to defeat Lin Feng. However, the Saint Devil Emperor no longer thought that way. Now, he only wanted to kill Lin Feng. Even if he had to pay a heavy price, he wouldn't hesitate to do so. It could be said that the Saint Devil Emperor had gone mad after being toyed with by Lin Feng. The main reason was that he was angry. Once a person became angry, They would do something regardless of the consequences. The Saint Devil Emperor was currently in such a situation. However, the corners of the Saint Devil Emperor's mouth twitched violently. He realized that he had lost control of the array. Lin Feng said, "The array here is really complicated. I've always wanted to take control of the array, but I've tried many times to no avail. Although I can't take away the control of the formation here, I can make it so that you can't control it either. Even if I don't control the formation, it won't be a problem to kill you." The Saint Devil Emperor's eyes flashed with killing intent as he rushed towards Lin Feng. The immortal suppression cauldron vibrated and released a terrifying aura. Even if the Holy Demon Emperor didn't use the Grand Array, even if his combat strength had declined to the extreme, he was still incomparably terrifying. Lin Feng was very clear about this. Hence, Lin Feng didn't hold back in the slightest in the face of the Holy Devil Emperor's attack. He summoned the primordial ancestral insect, Emperor Archaic, great desolate demon refining insects, and celestial devouring insects. Bibi and Little Black were also summoned. Lin Feng had named the mysterious little beast that followed Bibi Little Black. Although Little Black didn't like the name, its resistance was useless. In the end, it had no choice but to accept the name Little Black. Bibi and Little Black were still young. However, their combat strength was extremely heaven-defying. Bibi was an expert in the use of space. Little Black's ability was also extremely terrifying. Little Black was an expert in the use of the Tao of Death. Bibi waved its little claws. Suddenly, the void around the Saint Devil Emperor turned into layers of space, trapping the Saint Devil Emperor. Little Black waved its claws, and beams of death light flew towards the Saint Devil Emperor. Emperor Archaic flapped his wings. The power of destruction bombarded the Saint Devil Emperor. At the same time, the primordial ancestral insect spat out a dense number of threads, which all wrapped around the Saint Devil Emperor. The great desolate demon refining insects and celestial devouring insects swarmed towards the Saint Devil Emperor. Lin Feng's dozen or so powerful treasures also bombarded the Saint Devil Emperor. The Saint Devil Emperor couldn't help but curse when he saw the situation in front of him. He was very confident in himself. He believed that he could kill Lin Feng. In order to kill Lin Feng, the Saint Devil Emperor had even accepted the possibility of being seriously injured. However, Lin Feng had suddenly summoned so many helpers. In an instant, the gap between the two sides had widened. The most important thing was that the helpers Lin Feng had summoned were extremely strong. At this moment, the Holy Devil Emperor even had the urge to curse. The Saint Devil Emperor gnashed his teeth. He wanted nothing more than to tear Lin Feng to shreds. However, the Saint Devil Emperor wasn't someone who overestimated his own strength. In fact, he was extremely cautious. Therefore, the Saint Devil Emperor wanted to escape as soon as possible. If he continued to fight, it would be extremely disadvantageous for him. However, the Saint Devil Emperor was no longer in a situation where he could escape if he wanted to. Lin Feng had completely locked onto the Saint Devil Emperor and blocked his escape route. The Saint Devil Emperor had no choice but to defend himself against Lin Feng and his helpers. After a fierce battle, the Holy Demon Emperor had suffered severe injuries. Lin Feng took out the Gourd of Fortune. He wanted to use it to devour the Saint Devil Emperor. At this moment, the heaven-devouring gourd was trying to devour the Saint Devil Emperor's immortal suppression cauldron. The heaven and earth gourd was trying to devour the Saint Devil Emperor's true body. "Brat, I know countless secrets. As long as you spare my life, I can tell you all of them. I even have many treasures hidden in a secret place. Whatever you want, I can give you," shouted the Holy Demon Emperor. He wanted to negotiate with Lin Feng, but on the inside, he was furious. "Little boy, wait and see. If I manage to get out of here, I'll recover and I'll kill you. Not only will I kill you, but I'll kill your friends, your friends, your friends, your family, everyone who's related to you. I'll kill you." Lin Feng didn't know what the Saint Devil Emperor was thinking. However, no matter what, Lin Feng wouldn't let him go. He didn't care about the Saint Devil Emperor at all. Instead, he urged the treasure to devour the Saint Devil Emperor. No. The Saint Devil Emperor could no longer resist the Gourd of Fortune's devouring. He quickly flew toward the gourd of fortune, screaming in fear. However, it was to no avail. In the end, the Saint Devil Emperor was devoured by the gourd of fortune, and the heaven and earth immortal suppressing cauldron was devoured by the heaven-devouring jar. Lin Feng put away his treasures and removed the formation. Then, he flew toward Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and the White Yindi. The three of them were severely injured. The Saint Devil Emperor had told them that Lin Feng was dead, but they had believed him. The three of them were convinced. They had seen Lin Feng fight against the Holy Demon Emperor, and now they knew Lin Feng wasn't dead. Seeing Lin Feng fly over, Wu Yazi asked, Daoist Lin, where's the Saint Devil Emperor? Chapter 4300. Xia Yuanxiang and the White Yindi also looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng was fine, but the Saint Devil Emperor was nowhere to be seen. They were also very concerned about the Saint Devil Emperor's whereabouts. Said Lin Feng, the Holy Demon Emperor was injured by the celestial lights. I attacked him by surprise and injured him even more. Initially, I wanted to kill him, but who would have thought he would be able to escape? Even if he's injured, he's still extremely terrifying. He's too difficult to deal with. He escaped? Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and the White Yindi looked at each other. Their first reaction was that Lin Feng was lying. They thought that the Saint Devil Emperor might have been killed by Lin Feng. It was just that Lin Feng wanted to take it all for himself. However, when they thought of the Saint Devil Emperor's terrifying strength, they dismissed that thought. The Saint Devil Emperor was injured by the immortal light formed by the immortal slaying puppet, but he still had the strength to heavily injure them. Although Lin Feng was very strong, the three experts believed that Lin Feng wouldn't have any chance of winning against any of them, let alone the Saint Devil Emperor. For a terrifying existence like the Saint Devil Emperor, the final counterattack before death was the most frightening. And now, Lin Feng wasn't injured at all. Even if Lin Feng had 3 heads and 6 arms, he wouldn't be able to kill the Saint Devil Emperor so easily. Therefore, after the 3 experts thought about it, they felt that Lin Feng wasn't lying. The Saint Devil Emperor was injured before, so he could have escaped. Now that the Saint Devil Emperor is heavily injured, we can't let him escape. If he escapes, we might not have another chance to kill him in the future. The White Yindi's eyes were filled with killing intent. He was determined to kill the Saint Devil Emperor. Xia Yuanxiang nodded and said, Send out the order now and have our men search for the whereabouts of the Saint Devil Emperor. Hopefully, we can find his hiding place. Wu Yazi said, The Saint Devil Emperor is seriously injured this time, so he will definitely be more cautious. I guess that it won't be easy to find him. However, everything is possible with effort. I will now issue a search order for everyone to search for the whereabouts of the Holy Devil Emperor. As soon as he finished speaking, Wu Yazi took out a jade token and inserted some runes into it. The runes contained his orders. Countless cultivators in the blood refinement great world were searching for the whereabouts of the sage Devil Emperor. Lin Yunsong planned to leave the blood refinement great world because he couldn't find the cultivator from the Dao Saint Palace who had killed his son and daughter. Therefore, Lin Yunsong planned to sneak into the Dao Saint Palace to find him. However, the Starry Sky world had already been sealed. Lin Yunsong was quickly discovered by the people of the Dao Saint Palace. A large number of Dao Saint Palace cultivators began to besiege Lin Yunsong. Lin Yunsong was strong enough to escape the encirclement of the Dao Saint Palace cultivators, but there were too many of them. Therefore, there were people following Lin Yunsong in the dark. It was impossible for Lin Yunsong to find everyone hiding in the dark and kill them. That was not realistic. It was impossible to find all of them. The experts from the Devil World who had received the news arrived with Diju. These people surrounded Lin Yunsong and began to besiege him. Lin Yunsong, you won't be able to escape. If you know what's good for you, quickly surrender and hand over that thing. That way, you can die a quick death. Otherwise, after we capture you, we'll let you have a taste of living a life worse than death. The leading old man from the Devil World said sinisterly, his eyes flashing with killing intent. This time, Lin Yunsong was surrounded. In the eyes of these people, it was impossible for Lin Yunsong to escape. Lin Yunsong's expression was extremely gloomy. Naturally, He would not surrender. He tried to break out of the encirclement again and again, but he failed every time. Lin Yunsong's injuries were getting worse. It was especially so for the Devil World's Old Man and Diju. Their cultivation bases were too strong. Lin Yunsong was in the worst situation when facing these two people. Suddenly, a tearing sound was heard. Diju found an opportunity. The Fangtian halberd in his hand directly pierced Lin Yunsong's chest. Lin Yunsong let out a shrill scream. The Devil World's Old Man crippled Lin Yunsong's dantian with a palm strike. Lin Yunsong became a cripple. The Devil World's Old Man searched Lin Yunsong's body and found a storage ring. However, there was no Devil Master token in the storage ring. Where's the Devil Master token? Where did you put it? The Devil World's Old Man asked Lin Yunsong with a gloomy expression. Is the Devil Master token not in there? Diju asked with a frown. No, the Devil World's Old Man said. Diju also checked the storage ring. Indeed, there was no Devil Master token. You'll never get the Devil Master token, Lin Yunsong said coldly. Is that so? We have 1,000 ways to make you talk and bring him back to the Dao Saint Palace. At that time, we don't have to be afraid that he won't talk, Diju said with a sneer. Diju had countless ways to torture people. Many of his methods were enough to make people break down. Therefore, Diju was confident. He was confident that he could make Lin Yunsong talk. The group of people brought Lin Yunsong away. Lin Feng and the 3 experts continued to stay in the Blood Refinement Great World for 10 days. He still wanted to borrow their strength to enter the Dao Saint Palace. Therefore, Lin Feng did not bother with them. They searched for 10 days. They still could not find the whereabouts of the Saint Devil Emperor. The 3 experts' expressions were grave. Wu Yazi said in a deep voice, "It seems like the Saint Devil Emperor has escaped." Xia Yuanxiang and Bai Yindi nodded as well. Lin Feng said, "That's a pity. If we can find him, we can definitely kill him." Yes, it's a pity. However, there's nothing we can do about it. Let the people continue to search for the Saint Devil Emperor. We should return to the Dao Saint Palace. The Patriarch will come out of seclusion soon. We have to wait for him at the side, Wu Yazi said. Lin Feng guessed that the Patriarch Wu Yazi mentioned was most likely the human immortal expert from the Dao Saint Palace. That was a terrifying existence, Xia Yuanxiang said. Also, we have to recommend fellow Taoist Lin to the sect. If fellow Taoist Lin joins the Dao Saint Palace, our strength will definitely increase greatly, Bai Yendi said with a smile. Yes, we're looking forward to fellow Taoist Lin joining us. Lin Feng cupped his fists and said, Haha, I'm also looking forward to joining the Dao Saint Palace. I'll have to trouble the 3 of you then. Fellow Taoist Lin, you're welcome. The 3 of them cupped their fists and said. Then, the 3 of them left the Blood Refinement Great World. 2 months later, they arrived at the Dao Saint Great World. This was the headquarters of the Dao Saint Palace. Chapter 4301. Dao Saint Great World. People were coming and going. It was bustling. This was one of the places one had to pass to get to the Undying Realm, so countless cultivators would gather here. The reason why the Dao Saint Great World was so prosperous was because the Dao Saint Great World's location was too good. Cultivators from all over the world gathered here, so all kinds of precious resources and magic treasures could be found here. Therefore, Dao Saint Great World had always been in a relatively prosperous state for cultivation, especially for Dao Saint Palace. Dao Saint Great World was controlled by Dao Saint Palace, and all kinds of resources would eventually flow to Dao Saint Palace. Therefore, Dao Saint Palace had many experts. Other than the Undying Realm, it was not easy to compete with Dao Saint Palace in terms of the number of experts. Of course, the most terrifying thing about Dao Saint Palace was not the number of experts, but the existence of the Heavenly Way Infinite Diagram. After all, this was an ancient weapon. The power of this ancient weapon was unimaginable. Ancient weapons were rare in the world to begin with. Some ancient weapons could kill immortals and gods as easily as taking something out of their pockets. Dao Saint Palace had an ancient weapon, which was its most powerful foundation. And this foundation, it was enough to make the major forces in the Undying Realm fearful. Lin Feng, Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and Bai Yindi quickly flew towards Dao Saint Great World. The four of them were extremely fast. Along the way, Wu Yazi and the other two kept introducing Lin Feng to Dao Saint Great World and Dao Saint Palace. Wu Yazi said, Dao Saint Great World has a total of 108 main cities. As for the smaller cities, there are even more. There are simply too many to count. Dao Saint Palace is located in the depths of Dao Saint Great World. It is the sacred place of Dao Saint Great World, and ordinary people are not allowed to go there. Our Dao Saint Palace now has more than 700 big and small palaces. There is one peak human immortal expert, one mid-human immortal, and one beginner human immortal cultivator, and 17 individual immortal cultivators. Of course, the most important thing is that there is an ancient weapon in Dao Saint Palace. It is a great killing weapon that intimidates the world. With such a huge Dao Saint Palace, it must not be peaceful between them, right? Lin Feng said. Lin Feng believed that Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and Bai Yindi were allies since they were able to come together. Therefore, Lin Feng did not avoid discussing these matters in front of them. Wu Yazi said, the older generation is no longer that passionate about power. It's mainly the middle generation and the younger generation who are still passionate about power. Lin Feng agreed with Wu Yazi's words. People like Wu Yazi were all experts who had walked out of the divine stones. What had they not seen in their lives? Right now, Wu Yazi and the others were probably not interested in fighting for power. They were only interested in increasing their cultivation. However, the cultivators of the younger generation were still very interested in taking control of the Dao Saint Palace. Once he took control of the Dao Saint Palace, he would be above everyone else. Who would not like that feeling? Even Lin Feng liked the feeling of being in control. Men were all interested in power and beautiful women. Lin Feng knew that he hadn't reached the stage where he could see through life and ignore power. I heard that Di Jue is very powerful and is known as the Crown Prince. Is he the future successor of the Dao Saint Palace? Lin Feng asked as his heart jolted. He had seen Di Jue's attack before. It was indeed terrifying and shocking. Even Lin Feng did not have the confidence to fight against someone like Di Jue. After Di Jue had broken through to the bodiless celestial stage, he had become even more terrifying. He was like an ancient celestial or a conferred god. Everyone was in awe of him. Wu Yazi said, Di Jue is indeed very powerful. He's one of the top figures among the younger generation. As the future successor of the Dao Saint Palace Master, it's only natural that he's the most popular. After he had broken through to the bodiless celestial stage some time ago, he's even more popular now. However, no one knows how things will develop in the future because no one can foresee the future. Di Jue also has a few competitors. The first competitor is called Shangguan Bingyun. It's said that this woman's ancestor has a deep relationship with the Dao Saint Palace. He's very talented and has a heaven-defying cultivation base. He's only a step away from breaking through to the bodiless celestial stage at such a young age. He also has many supporters in the Dao Saint Palace. The second competitor is called Mu Yun Yi. He's also very talented and powerful. Perhaps he'll break through to the bodiless celestial stage soon. The third competitor is called Murong Tsangnan. He's also a top genius who's also at the subimmortal stage. When they were at the subimmortal stage, they were already able to challenge and deal with experts at the bodiless celestial stage. Therefore, you can imagine how powerful they'll be once they break through to the bodiless celestial stage. Now that Di Jue has broken through to the bodiless celestial stage first, it's up to the other three to see if they can break through to the bodiless celestial stage as well. The competition between them will be even more intense. It was obvious that the four of them had a strong background in their respective sections. That was why they were qualified to be the successor. If they did not have a strong background, they would not be qualified to be the successor even if they were very talented and powerful. Who do you three support? Lin Feng asked with a smile. Xia Yuanxiang said, We're in the middle. We're not willing to participate in the competition. Stay out of it? I'm afraid that's difficult to achieve. Lin Feng said, We'll take it one step at a time. It's not too late to make a decision when the situation is clear. Bai Yindi said. Lin Feng could not help but nod. A month later, they arrived at the Dao Saint Palace. Looking from afar, the clouds were rolling in the void. Within the clouds, there were countless jade palaces floating in the air. The Immortal Palace. That must be the Dao Saint Palace. Countless cultivators were entering and exiting the palace. The Dao Saint Palace was extremely huge. There were about 40 to 50 million disciples in total. The deacons, elders, and others added up to about 5 to 6 million people. There was a huge stone door in front of the Dao Saint Palace. Below the stone door was a platform paved with white jade. The surroundings were filled with restrictions. The only way in and out of the Dao Saint Palace was through the stone door. Lin Feng looked at the stone door. He could not help but think of the legendary southern Heavenly Gate. It was said that it was heavily guarded and was the gateway to the Heavenly Court. It seemed like the stone door of the Dao Saint Palace was an imitation of the Heavenly Court's southern Heavenly Gate. When they got closer, Lin Feng noticed a huge plaque above the stone door. There were 3 words written on the plaque. Northern Heavenly Gate. The 3 words were surrounded by holy light. It was only one word different from the southern Heavenly Gate, which surprised Lin Feng. Chapter 4302. Lin Feng remembered that the founder of the Dao Saint Palace and the 3rd Heavenly Emperor had fought for the Heavenly Emperor's throne when they were young, although they had failed in a baffling way, but they were probably still unwilling to accept it. So the entrance to the Heavenly Court was the Southern Heavenly Gate, while his entrance was the Northern Heavenly Gate. Lin Feng felt that there was really such a possibility. Of course, all of this was just Lin Feng's guess. Lin Feng could not confirm this point. After he, Wu Yazi, and the others ascended the Northern Heavenly Gate, the guards and cultivators entering and exiting the Northern Heavenly Gate all bowed to Wu Yazi and the other 2. The 3 of them had extremely high statuses in the Dao Saint Palace. Wu Yazi said, "Fellow Daoist Lin, please come in. I will bring you to experience the splendor of the Dao Saint Palace." "Thank you, fellow Daoist Wu." Lin Feng cupped his fists and said. Accompanied by Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and White Yama, Lin Feng entered the Dao Saint Palace. After they left, everyone could not help but exclaim in surprise. Lin Feng was so young, but he was accompanied by 3 great loose immortal patriarchs into the Dao Saint Palace. Who was Lin Feng? Everyone was puzzled and extremely curious about Lin Feng's identity. They wanted to know Lin Feng's identity, but after those cultivators conversed for a while, no one recognized Lin Feng. In the Dao Saint Palace, pavilions and immortal palaces were all floating in the clouds. It was truly an immortal scene. This required extremely powerful magic power to create such a scene. Clearly, all of this was built by the ancestors of the Dao Saint Palace after many years. Wu Yazi and the other 2 brought Lin Feng to the Sacred Immortal Academy. This name was grand and majestic, but in reality, this place was just a courtyard for guests to rest. There were many flower beds and ponds inside. All kinds of rare spiritual flowers were planted in the flower beds. In the ponds, there were lotus flowers, lotus leaves, and some water plants. Lin Feng was the only guest that stayed in Sacred Immortal Academy. Ordinary guests didn't have the qualifications to stay in Sacred Immortal Academy. Only those who had surpassed the Great Emperor realm were qualified to stay here, and Lin Feng was clearly qualified. "Fellow Daoist Lin, you can stay here for now. If you need anything, you can ask the servants below. Now, we'll report your matter to the higher-ups. Soon, you'll be tested. If you pass, you'll be able to join Dao Saint Palace. With fellow Daoist Lin's strength, your status will definitely be extremely high after joining the Dao Saint Palace." Xia Yuanxiang said, "All right, thank you for your trouble." Lin Feng cupped his fists and said, "Fellow Daoist Lin, you're too kind. We'll take our leave now." The 3 of them said in unison. He also cupped his fists. Then they left together. Lin Feng returned to his courtyard and closed the door. There was a pool in the courtyard for bathing. Lin Feng took off his clothes and jumped into the pool. He closed his eyes and pondered. After arriving at Dao Saint Palace, Lin Feng realized that this Dao Saint Palace was even more extraordinary than he had imagined. It was even more powerful. The Dao Source Immortal Palace was obviously the most important palace in Dao Saint Palace. It would be extremely difficult to sneak in and rob it. This matter needed to be considered at length. He needed to find a suitable opportunity to take action. He definitely couldn't take action under normal circumstances. It was too dangerous. Lin Feng was naturally very clear about this point. After bathing, he changed into a clean set of clothes. Not long after, someone came to visit Lin Feng. It was none other than the sisters Xiaoru Xuan and Xiaoru Yue. After seeing the sisters, Lin Feng said with a smile, "It's been a while since we last met. The two fairies are still as beautiful as ever." The two said, "We came without notice. Please forgive us, young master," said Lin Feng. "You two celestial beings, you're very welcome." Xiaoru Xuan said, "I believe that young master will be going through the assessment in a few days. Young master, there are some things you need to pay attention to during the assessment." "Who will be assessing me? What do I need to pay attention to?" Lin Feng asked curiously. "With young master's strength, I believe that the Heavenly Path Infinite diagram will be assessing you," Xiaoru Xuan said. Hearing this, Lin Feng was shocked. The Heavenly Path Infinite diagram will be assessing him? The Heavenly Path Infinite diagram was an ancient weapon. It was an extremely terrifying existence. He didn't know how powerful it was. If the Heavenly Path Infinite diagram were to assess him, Lin Feng felt that there might be some problems. At this time, Xiaoru Xuan continued, "During the assessment, young master must not have any thoughts that are detrimental to the Dao Saint Palace. It will be bad if the Heavenly Path Infinite diagram senses it." "The Heavenly Path Infinite diagram isn't asleep?" Lin Feng asked calmly. "It's asleep most of the time, but it will occasionally wake up. Even if it's asleep, the sect's old ancestor can still awaken it." Xiaoru Yue said, "Is the Heavenly Path Infinite diagram going to search my soul?" Lin Feng asked. Xiaoru Xuan said, "That's not the case. It should only be peeking into your inner world. There's also a saying that it's exploring the soul world." "Oh, is that so?" Lin Feng couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly. Xiaoru Xuan's words weren't good news for Lin Feng. Even if it wasn't a soul search, it was extremely disadvantageous for the Heavenly Path Infinite diagram to peek into his inner world or soul world. If the Heavenly Path Infinite diagram were to discover his true purpose of infiltrating the Dao Saint Palace, then he was definitely done for. "Lin Gongzi, you don't have to worry. When the time comes, just don't let your imagination run wild," Xiaoru Yue said. Lin Feng smiled bitterly in his heart. Xiaoru Yue's words were simple, but the actual situation wasn't that simple. If he was sincere about joining the Dao Saint Palace, he wouldn't be afraid of the Heavenly Path Infinite diagram's investigation. The key was that he wasn't sincere about joining the Dao Saint Palace. Moreover, the idea of robbing the Dao Source Immortal Palace had already been deeply imprinted in his soul. When the time came, even if he didn't think about it, his soul world would still be obsessed with it. Lin Feng naturally didn't express his worries in front of Xiaoru Xuan and Xiaoru Yue. He chatted with the two sisters for a while longer. Xiaoru Xuan and Xiaoru Yue then left. "Demon Lord, it seems like the Heavenly Path Infinite diagram has some terrifying means to search a cultivator's inner world or soul. Is there any way to prevent the Heavenly Path Infinite diagram from seeing my true thoughts? Or some of my true thoughts in my soul world?" Lin Feng transmitted his voice to the Demon Lord. Yao Jun said, "I know a great soul transfer technique. You can use the great soul transfer technique to exchange your soul with the soul of your external incarnation. The soul will produce consciousness, and the consciousness will produce fluctuations in the inner world. Therefore, exploring the inner world is ultimately also exploring your soul, and exploring the soul world is ultimately also exploring your soul." Chapter 4303. The soul transfer technique was not particularly difficult for Lin Feng to cultivate. The Demon Lord told Lin Feng the cultivation method of the soul transfer technique. Lin Feng used 6 hours to successfully cultivate the soul transfer technique. Of course, Lin Feng did not use the soul transfer technique now. It would not be too late to use it during the assessment. In the next 2 days, Xiaoru Xuan and Xiaoru Yue often came to Lin Feng's place. Sometimes, they would take Lin Feng to stroll around some of the gardens in the Dao Saint Palace. Lin Feng had not officially joined the Dao Saint Palace, so there were many places that Lin Feng could not go by himself. The rules of the Dao Saint Palace were extremely strict. Finally, on this day, Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and Bai Yindi came to Lin Feng's place. Wu Yazi said with a smile, Taoist Lin, we have already communicated with the Heaven's Infinite diagram. Let's go take a look at it now. Lin Feng knew that the assessment of the Dao Saint Palace was about to begin. Lin Feng nodded and said, no problem. Let's go now. Under the guidance of the three, Lin Feng went to accept the assessment. On the way, Lin Feng used the soul transfer technique. He switched his soul with the soul of his external incarnation. The reason why he used the soul transfer technique in advance was because Lin Feng did not know what powerful techniques the Heaven's Infinite diagram had. Therefore, Lin Feng was worried that the Heaven's Infinite diagram would discover him if he used the soul transfer technique under the gaze of the Heaven's Infinite diagram. Therefore, he used the soul transfer technique in advance. Under the guidance of Wu Yazi and the other two, Lin Feng came to an ancient hall. It was a starry hall. Above the hall, there seemed to be a boundless starry world. Large stars rotated in the starry world. Wu Yazi said, Taoist Lin, you don't have to do anything. You just have to stand here for a while. Lin Feng nodded. He stood in place and released his spirit force. Anyone could check on Lin Feng's situation. The Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram had yet to appear, so Lin Feng didn't know if the Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram's true body was in this hall. Of course, it was also possible that only a portion of his consciousness had descended upon the hall. But no matter what the situation was, Lin Feng believed that the Heavenly Way Infinite diagram was spying on his soul at this very moment. It wanted to find the reason why he joined the Dao Saint Palace from the memories in his soul. However, Lin Feng was now full of confidence. A quarter of an hour later, Wu Yazi seemed to have received some instructions. He smiled and said, Fellow Taoist Lin, let's rest in the living room for the time being. Please lead the way, fellow Taoist Wu. Lin Feng said. Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and Bai Yindi led Lin Feng away to rest. After they left, a cultivator walked out from the back of the hall. This cultivator was dressed in a Confucian robe. He looked like he had read a lot of books and poems, like a great scholar who had achieved the Tao. This cultivator was called Kong Mingdao. He was one of the three human immortals of the Dao Saint Palace. Kong Mingdao cupped his fists at the starry sky world that was floating above the hall and asked, My lord, is there a problem with that cultivator called Lin Feng? An ancient voice that had experienced the vicissitudes of life resonated from the starry sky world. This person is not simple. First of all, his cultivation level isn't particularly high. However, his combat strength is extremely terrifying. His talent is even comparable to Dijue's. Upon hearing this, Kong Mingdao could not help but be shocked. His talent was comparable to Dijue's? This evaluation was simply too high. Currently, it was publicly acknowledged in the sect that Dijue's talent was unparalleled. Although the other three heaven-defying prodigies were also incomparably monstrous, they seemed to be slightly inferior to Dijue. Therefore, the Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram had said that Lin Feng's talent was comparable to Dijue's. This made Kong Mingdao feel extremely incredulous. The Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram's voice continued to resound. Secondly, this person has a lot of secrets. Originally, I could peek into his secrets, but I didn't do so. If I peek into some of his secrets, he should be able to find out. Everyone has their own secrets. For someone like him, his resistance is extremely strong. If I were to peek into his secrets, it would be counterproductive. Lastly, this person joined the Dao Saint Palace. It seems like he wants to borrow the power of the Dao Saint Palace to break through his cultivation base. His thoughts are rather simple, and his martial will is also very pure. He doesn't seem like an evil person. Then, does he pass the examination? Kong Mingdao asked. The Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram said, Actually, I'm a little hesitant. For a peerless genius like him who has a lot of secrets, it's best for the sect not to accept him. After all, who knows what will happen in the future? However, this person can be recruited. Since you don't want to recruit such a person, why did you change your mind? Kong Mingdao asked. This person is too monstrous. If we don't recruit him, he'll be recruited by other forces sooner or later. If they nurture him, he might become a threat to the Dao Saint Palace. Thus, it's better to restrict him to the Dao Saint Palace. The Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram said. This fellow was truly sinister. If he really did as he wished and restricted Lin Feng to the Tao Saint Palace, it seemed like this fellow did not intend to nurture Lin Feng properly. Instead, he wanted to destroy Lin Feng. Luckily, Lin Feng didn't really want to join the Tao Saint Palace. If he truly joined the Tao Saint Palace, he would have entered the tiger's den. Swoosh! With a flash of light, a porcelain bottle flew out. This is? Kong Mingdao asked in surprise after receiving the bottle. This is a newly refined Tao Source Immortal pill. However, these Tao Source Immortal pills are infused with goo poison. If we want to restrict a genius like him, we need to use some special methods. In the future, even if he wants to leave the Tao Saint Palace, he won't be able to do so. The Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram said with a smile. My lord is wise, Kong Mingdao hurriedly said. You can go and deal with the rest? The Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram said. Yes, I'll go and deal with the rest now, Kong Mingdao said as he left the starry hall. Interesting, interesting, Yi Futian murmured. After Kong Mingdao left, the Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram's voice echoed in the starry hall. But soon, the hall became quiet. Lin Feng, who was drinking tea in the living room, suddenly had a bad feeling. His blood was flowing faster and faster. Chapter 4304. Someone is plotting against me. Lin Feng's expression did not change, but his heart turned cold. He guessed. Someone was plotting against him. No one else. It should be the Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram. However, Lin Feng sneered inwardly. The Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram probably did not expect him to have sudden inspiration, right? That fellow probably did not expect him to have seen through its thoughts, right? Lin Feng asked without batting an eyelid. Was the hall we went to earlier the Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram slumber? Of course not. Wu Yazi shook his head. The Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram. The Starry Sky Hall is the hall where important figures are examined. The Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram only sent its divine sense into the Starry Sky Hall. The Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram is slumbering in the Tao Source Immortal Palace. What? The Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram is slumbering in the Tao Source Immortal Palace? Lin Feng was shocked. Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and the White Yama Emperor were surprised by Lin Feng's shocked expression. Lin Feng had always been a calm person. Is there something wrong? Xia Yuanxiang asked. Lin Feng wanted to curse inwardly. His goal was the Tao Source Immortal Palace. Who would have thought that? The Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram was slumbering in the Tao Source Immortal Palace. This was going to be troublesome. If he wanted to enter the Tao Source Immortal Palace, he would have to alert the Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram. Unless the Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram left the Tao Source Immortal Palace. Of course, this was something he would have to consider in the future. For now, Lin Feng did not have to think about it. Lin Feng said, Nothing. I'm just surprised. I thought the Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram would be slumbering in the ancestral land. A powerful faction like the Tao Saint Palace would definitely have an ancestral land. Lin Feng's explanation was reasonable. White Yama Emperor said, There are countless Tao Source Immortal pills stored in the Tao Source Immortal Palace. These Tao Source Immortal pills were refined using the Tao Source from the Heavenly Tao Limitless diagram. The Tao Source Immortal Palace is very important to our Tao Saint Palace. Such an important place naturally has to be guarded by a peak expert. So the Heavenly Tao Everlasting diagram is guarding the Tao Source Immortal Palace. I see. Lin Feng couldn't help but nod. At this moment, Kong Mingdao walked into the living room. After seeing this person, Wu Yazi and the others stood up. Lin Feng also stood up. My lord. Wu Yazi and the others cupped their fists and bowed. Don't be so courteous, everyone. Kong Mingdao smiled and said, Fellow Taoist Lin. Lord Kong Mingdao is one of the 3 human immortals of the Tao Saint Palace. Wu Yazi introduced. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Lin Feng cupped his fists and said, Ha 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 ha. We will be a family in the future. Fellow Taoist Lin, there's no need to be so courteous. Kong Mingdao smiled and said, Has fellow Taoist Lin passed the examination? Xia Yuanxiang's eyes lit up as she said, "Yes, it has been approved," Kong Mingdao said with a smile. Lin Feng smiled. "It's my honor to be able to join the Dao Saint Palace." Kong Mingdao smiled and said, "How about this? The Dao Saint Palace's mission hall lacks a hall master, so why don't we have fellow Taoist Lin take over?" Lin Feng said, "Isn't it a little too sudden for me to take up such an important position as a newcomer? I'm sure there will be a lot of opinions from below, right? I think it's best if I don't take up any positions for now." Kong Mingdao said, "Fellow Taoist Lin, there's no need to worry. With your cultivation, even I feel that it's a waste for you to be the hall master of the mission hall. It's just that some of the other important halls have already been taken over, so I won't be able to assign you there. Fellow Taoist Lin, you will be in charge of the mission hall for now. When there's a better position in the future, I'll assign you there." "Then I'll respectfully accept," Lin Feng said. Kong Mingdao took out a storage ring and said, "Fellow Taoist Lin, there are some Dao Source Immortal pills in a porcelain bottle inside. In addition, there are some divine ability manuals, magic treasures, and so on. These are all rewards for joining the sect. Apart from these, fellow Taoist Lin can also claim the sect's benefits at the beginning of every month." Lin Feng took the storage ring and said, "I'll keep that in mind. Fellow Taoist Lin, please go back and rest for now. Tomorrow, I'll personally bring fellow Taoist Lin to the mission hall to report." Kong Mingdao said, "Then I'll take my leave." Lin Feng cupped his fists and left. Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and Bai Yindi did not leave because Kong Mingdao did not allow them to send Lin Feng back. Clearly, he had something else to tell them. "My lord, fellow Taoist Lin joined our sect mainly to raise his cultivation. He shouldn't be interested in these specific positions. Why did you assign him the position of hall master of the mission hall? The mission hall handles countless missions every day. It's the most arduous hall. Fellow Taoist Lin will be in charge of the mission hall, won't he? What if fellow Taoist Lin leaves in a fit of anger?" Xia Yuanxiang asked, puzzled. Kong Mingdao said, "Lord Heavenly Infinite Diagram said that this lad's talent is not inferior to Dijue's. We need to restrain this lad." After hearing Kong Mingdao's words, Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and Bai Yindi immediately understood the deeper meaning of Kong Mingdao's words. "It's fine as long as you know about this. However, don't say anything in front of Lin Feng. I know all of you have a good relationship with him, but Lord Heavenly Infinite Diagram is doing this for the sake of the sect. Moreover, Lord Heavenly Infinite Diagram has no intention of harming Lin Feng. The path to becoming a supreme being is not easy. This path is destined to be filled with corpses. It's better to withdraw from this path as soon as possible." Kong Mingdao said, "Yes." Wu Yazi, Xia Yuanxiang, and Bai Yindi replied. After returning to his residence, Lin Feng took out the items in his storage ring. He opened the storage ring and found 100 Dao Source Immortal pills inside. These Dao Source Immortal pills were refined using the Dao Source as the foundation and fused with immortal qi. Because it did not incorporate a large number of spiritual herbs, although it was called an immortal pill, it was still quite far from an immortal pill that could truly improve one's cultivation. However, this Dao Source Immortal pill was quite powerful, and that was the Dao Source energy within the Dao Source Immortal pill was very useful in improving the cultivator's cultivation. Moreover, there were countless Dao Source Immortal pills stored in the Dao Source Immortal Palace. The lack of quality could be compensated with quantity. Therefore, as long as one could obtain a large number of Dao Source Immortal pills, it would be very useful in raising one's cultivation base. Other than this bottle of Dao Source Immortal pills, the other benefits of the sect were ordinary items. Lin Feng was not interested in them. Chapter 4305. After swallowing the Dao Source Immortal pill, Lin Feng circulated the immemorial dragonesque elephant art to refine the pill. The Dao Source Immortal pill's medicinal energy was very pure, and Lin Feng absorbed all of it. Lin Feng found that after the medicinal energy of the Dao Source Immortal pill entered his body, it merged with the magic energy stored in his body. The medicinal energy of the Dao Source Immortal pill was refining Lin Feng's magic energy. When Lin Feng's magic energy was refined to a certain level, the transformation of his magic energy was completed. His magic power was the first to complete its transformation. As the saying goes, a slight move in one part will affect the whole body. After the transformation of his magic energy, many other parts of Lin Feng's body would also complete the transformation. In the end, Lin Feng would complete the breakthrough. In the following time, Lin Feng swallowed all the Tao Source Immortal pills. After absorbing all of them, Lin Feng's magic energy had indeed become much purer. However, it was still far from reaching the level of transformation. It's too little. He only gave me 100 Tao Source Immortal pills. He's too stingy. Lin Feng could not help but feel speechless. At this moment, Lin Feng suddenly felt a fluctuation. It was the white jade toad that was emitting this fluctuation. Lin Feng was surprised. He did not know why the white jade toad was emitting such a violent fluctuation at this time. Lin Feng summoned the white jade toad. He opened his palm, and the white jade toad lay on Lin Feng's palm. Lin Feng asked, "Little guy, what happened?" "Croak, croak, croak." The white jade toad opened its mouth and croaked. At the same time, the white jade toad's divine will was transmitted into Lin Feng's mind. "You're saying that I've been poisoned?" Lin Feng looked at the white jade toad in shock. "Croak, croak, croak." The white jade toad croaked again, confirming Lin Feng's words. Lin Feng's expression turned ugly. He was actually poisoned by the goo? Lin Feng asked himself if he had been very careful. The only possibility of being poisoned was the pill he had swallowed before. Could it be that there was a problem with those Tao Source Immortal pills? Is it because of the Tao Source Immortal pill? Lin Feng asked the white jade toad. "Croak, croak, croak." The white jade toad cried out and gave Lin Feng an affirmative answer. There was indeed a problem with the Tao Source Immortal pill. Lin Feng was speechless. Who would have thought that he would be set up by someone from the Tao Saint Palace? It must have been the Heaven Path Infinite diagram that set him up. For the time being, Lin Feng did not know if Wu Yazi and the others knew about this. However, Lin Feng was certain that Kong Mingdao definitely knew about this matter. Lin Feng carefully checked his body, but he didn't find any traces of goo poison. He didn't know what kind of goo poison the other party used to make it so terrifying. Lin Feng couldn't help but look grave and solemn. Since he couldn't find the goo poison, there was no need to detoxify it. Lin Feng looked at the white jade toad and asked, "Can you detoxify this goo poison for me?" "Croak, croak, croak." The white jade toad cried out again. Lin Feng's face lit up with joy. The white jade toad gave him an affirmative answer once again. "Hurry up and detoxify the goo poison in my body," Lin Feng said impatiently. The white jade toad opened its mouth and sucked. Suddenly, Lin Feng felt as if a formless energy was flying out of his body. The energy was absorbed by the white jade toad. In fact, all kinds of poisons were also a type of energy. However, it was very difficult for the human body to absorb them. However, the white jade toad could do it. Everything in the world had a mutual counterbalance. Heaven and earth were just that mysterious. After absorbing the goo poison in Lin Feng's body, the white jade toad became more energetic. Its aura was also much stronger than before. Fortunately, he had the white jade toad. Otherwise, he would have been schemed against by the infinite diagram of the heavenly Tao. At that time, he wouldn't even know how he died. Lin Feng sent the white jade toad back into the space-time continuum. Then, he began to think. The infinite diagram of the heavenly Tao probably wanted to use the goo poison to control my body. However, now that the goo poison has been detoxified, he can no longer control my body. I wonder if he has already noticed that the goo poison in my body has been detoxified? If he does, then it'll be terrible. However, Lin Feng soon relaxed. He had some understanding of goo poison. Goo poison usually lay dormant in a cultivator's body. Once the goo poison was activated, the goo poison would explode. Then, the poison's power would erupt. During this period of dormancy, the cultivator would not be able to sense the specific situation of the poisoned person through the dormant poison. Only after the goo poison had been activated could the person who had planted the goo poison sense the specific situation of the victim through the goo poison. However, the goo poison in his body was still in the dormant stage. The goo poison needed a certain amount of time from the dormant stage to the mature stage, and then to the activated stage. The stronger the goo poison, the longer the time needed to control the stronger the cultivator. Therefore, the goo poison in his body could not be activated in a short period of time. Therefore, during this period of time, the other party would not know that the goo poison in his body had been detoxified. Moreover, the infinite diagram of the heavenly Tao rarely woke up. Most of the time, he was in a deep sleep. After the goo poison was planted in him, there was an 80% chance that he would still be in a deep sleep. Therefore, he didn't have to worry too much about being discovered by the infinite diagram of the heavenly Tao. He didn't know when that fellow would wake up again. When he woke up, he wanted to control the goo poison to control him. At that time, the infinite diagram of the heavenly Tao would realize that the goo poison had been detoxified. Naturally, he wouldn't have the chance to control him. Thinking of this, Lin Feng's hanging heart finally relaxed a little. "Lin Gongzi, are you there?" A voice came from outside. It was very pleasant to hear. Lin Feng could tell that the owner of this voice should be Xiaoruyue. It was already nighttime. He didn't know why Xiaoruyue was here. "Yes," replied Lin Feng. Immediately after, he stood up and opened the door of the courtyard. As expected, the person outside was Xiaoruyue. The moon was bright. Xiaoruyue stood outside the courtyard, as beautiful as a fairy. After seeing Lin Feng, Xiaoruyue bowed to Lin Feng. Lin Feng smiled and said, "Fairy, you don't have to be so polite. Aren't you going to invite me in?" Xiaoruyue said with a smile. "Fairy, please come in." Lin Feng invited Xiaoruyue into the courtyard. Xiaoruyue liked to come to his place when she had nothing to do. How could Lin Feng not know what Xiaoruyue was thinking? Of course, Lin Feng knew. An outstanding young talent like Lin Feng would always have many butterflies flying around him. Because of many things, Lin Feng had an extremely bad impression of the Dao Saint Palace. However, Lin Feng had a good impression of Xiaorushuan and Xiaoruyue. The two sisters' thoughts were relatively simple. Chapter 4306. Lin Feng knew what Xiaoruyue was thinking, but Lin Feng wouldn't promise Xiaoruyue anything. At most, they would gather and chat like friends. They wouldn't have any intimate relationship, because Lin Feng planned to do something big in the future and then run away. By then, Lin Feng would become the enemy of the Dao Saint Palace. If he had an intimate relationship with Xiaoruyue and he ran away, she wouldn't have a good ending. Of course, by then, he would have to see how things would develop. People's feelings weren't easy to control, so if he really had feelings and had to face some things, he would just take Xiaoruyue with him. By then, he would take Xiaorushuan with him. Once they left the Dao Saint Palace's territory, the people of the Dao Saint Palace couldn't do anything to Lin Feng, Xiaorushuan, Xiaoruyue, and the rest. Of course, this was all in the future. Lin Feng wasn't sure what would happen in the future. Xiaoruyue stayed with Lin Feng for more than 2 hours. Lin Feng and Xiaoruyue had a good chat. Xiaoruyue told Lin Feng about some interesting things that happened in the past few years. The next day, Kong Mingdao arrived and brought Lin Feng to the Mission Palace. Among the 700-plus palaces in the Dao Saint Palace, some were for the disciples to cultivate and rest. Some were for the various departments to work. For a huge force like the Dao Saint Palace, each department had a clear division of labor. The entire Dao Saint Palace was like a huge machine that operated perfectly. The Mission Palace's daily task was to give out various missions and track the progress of the various missions. These missions were different, so the rewards were naturally different. The Mission Palace's palace master didn't have much authority. The ones with the most authority were the Disciplinary Palace, Achievement Palace, Inheritance Palace, Immortal Elixir Palace, and other palaces. They could obtain substantial benefits. The Mission Palace's palace master couldn't come into contact with substantial things. He was only in contact with various missions, so it was naturally difficult for him to obtain any benefits. Kong Mingdao and Lin Feng came to the Mission Palace together. There were about 3,000 people in the Mission Palace, from elders to disciples. These 3,000 people were responsible for the operation of the Mission Palace. Now, 3,000 people were gathered in the main hall. These people were waiting for the appointment ceremony of the new temple master. Everyone, on behalf of the Dao Saint Palace, I hereby announce the appointment of Lin Feng as the new hall master of the mission hall. I hope that everyone will work together in the future and do a good job in the mission hall. Kong Mingdao said loudly. Then, Kong Mingdao looked at Lin Feng and said, Hall Master Lin, you can have a good chat with the Deputy Hall Masters. I won't disturb you. My lord, please. Lin Feng cupped his fists and said. Kong Mingdao nodded and left. After Kong Mingdao left, the cultivators below immediately whispered to each other and discussed. It was obvious that Lin Feng, the hall master who had appeared out of nowhere, had aroused everyone's curiosity. Lin Feng was too young. What qualifications did such a young cultivator have to assume the position of Mission Hall's hall master? Many people felt that Lin Feng might have a strong background. The reason why he was able to become the hall master of the Mission Hall was most likely due to his connections. Who is the Vice Palace Master? Step forward and speak. Lin Feng said. The few Vice Palace Masters looked at the middle-aged cultivator who was the leader. That cultivator was also a Vice Palace Master. His name was Zhang Moyang. He had a strong background because he was the subordinate of the Crown Prince, Dijue. Therefore, the rest of the people obeyed Zhang Moyang. It was the same for the few Vice Palace Masters. Originally, Zhang Moyang thought that after the previous Hall Master left his position, the new Hall Master would become the new Hall Master. The position of the new Hall Master should have fallen on his head. However, Lin Feng had suddenly appeared out of nowhere. This caused Zhang Moyang to feel extremely furious. Zhang Moyang stood still and did not move. Naturally, the rest of the Vice Palace Masters did not dare to step forward. Although Lin Feng might have a strong background, no matter how strong Lin Feng's background was, he could not be compared to Dijue. Dijue's talent was too strong. Moreover, he had broken through to the itinerant immortal realm. Many people felt that Dijue would definitely be the successor of the Dao Saint Palace in the future. Moreover, Dijue was the son of one of the palace masters. There were even rumors that Dijue was the son of the Dao Saint Palace's founder. However, no one knew if this rumor was true or not. This rumor had always been circulating in the Dao Saint Palace. However, no one had ever been able to verify it. Lin Feng could not help but raise his eyebrows. He had been observing the few people standing at the front. This was because Lin Feng guessed that they should be the Vice Palace Masters. However, Lin Feng saw that they were looking at the cultivator on the left. He had asked the Vice Palace Masters to step forward, but as Vice Palace Masters, they did not step forward. Obviously, it was because the cultivator on the left did not step forward. Lin Feng did not have much interest in the position of Mission Palace Master. However, since he had taken up the position, he would not let anyone step on him. He would never allow anyone to step on his head. To put it bluntly, he was the boss of this place. Get the hell out here, Lin Feng said as he pointed at Zhang Moyang. You called for me? What's the matter? Zhang Moyang asked indifferently. He did not step forward. Ever since Dijue had broken through to the itinerant immortal realm, more and more people had pledged allegiance to him. Those who pledged allegiance to Dijue had become more and more arrogant. People like Zhang Moyang were already considered senior figures. Therefore, he became even more arrogant. Although he was only a Vice Palace Master, he really did not take Lin Feng, the Palace Master, seriously. The cultivators below fell silent as well. They had already expected the situation before them. Therefore, they did not find it strange. Lin Feng walked toward Zhang Moyang. He smiled and said, Interesting, interesting. I've just taken up the position of Palace Master, and there's already someone going against me. I love to teach people like you a lesson. Brat, you better watch your mouth. Zhang Moyang said in a deep voice. Kneel. Lin Feng's expression turned cold. With a cold shout, a powerful aura emanated from his body and directly suppressed Zhang Moyang. Zhang Moyang could not resist it. A loud thud was heard. He immediately knelt on the ground. Heavens! Is the new Palace Master so powerful? He can suppress Zhang Moyang with just his aura alone? Seeing that, some of the cultivators cried out in shock. They could not believe what they were seeing. This is going to be interesting. I wonder how he's going to deal with Zhang Moyang. After all, Zhang Moyang has the crown prince of our Dao Saint Palace behind him. Then, another cultivator said. Zhang Moyang, who was kneeling on the ground, suddenly had bloodshot eyes. He roared furiously, Brat, how dare you make me kneel on the ground? Do you know who's behind me? Behind me is Crown Prince Dijue. If you dare to humiliate me, that means you're humiliating Crown Prince Dijue as well. Release me right now, kneel on the ground and kowtow to me as an apology, and I can still spare your life. Otherwise, I'll definitely report this matter to His Highness the Crown Prince. At that time, His Highness the Crown Prince will tear you into pieces. Chapter 4307. Now that Dijue had completely risen in power, there was no one in the Dao Saint Palace who did not fear him. Even those loose immortals acted according to Dijue's wishes. Therefore, Zhang Moyang was very confident that Lin Feng would be afraid as long as he mentioned Dijue. However, Zhang Moyang was wrong this time. Dijue was indeed powerful, but it was not enough to make Lin Feng fear him. Lin Feng sneered as he looked at Zhang Moyang and said, "How dare you threaten me after becoming a prisoner? You're offending your superior." Lin Feng's lips curled up into a cold smile. He looked at a vice palace master and asked, "How do you punish a subordinate for offending his superior in the Dao Saint Palace?" The vice palace master had long been frightened by Lin Feng's powerful strength to the point that his body was trembling. When he heard Lin Feng's question, he naturally did not dare to ignore Lin Feng. He said, "Young master, for offending your superior, your cultivation should be crippled." Lin Feng nodded and looked at Zhang Moyang. "Zhang Moyang, as the vice palace master of the Mission Palace, you knowingly broke the law. Today, I'll cripple your cultivation according to the rules of the Dao Saint Palace." "No, you can't cripple my cultivation. I'm the Crown Prince's man. If you cripple my cultivation, the Crown Prince won't let you off." Zhang Moyang roared in horror. Once again, he brought up Dijue. He wanted to use Dijue to intimidate Lin Feng. Lin Feng sneered. He did not care about Zhang Moyang's threat at all. He waved his sleeve. A powerful force slammed into Zhang Moyang's body. Zhang Moyang's body was sent flying. He spat out a mouthful of blood in midair. "My Dantian! My Dantian! How dare you cripple my Dantian? You'll die a horrible death." Zhang Moyang roared with hatred. His eyes turned blood red, and deep hatred flashed in his eyes. "Men, throw him out," Lin Feng said in a deep voice. The surrounding cultivators looked at each other, not daring to make a move. "What? Why are you so scared?" Lin Feng coldly said. Two cultivators gritted their teeth and stepped forward. The two of them lifted Zhang Moyang up with one arm each. Then, they dragged Zhang Moyang out and threw him out of the hall. Soon after, the two of them returned. "What are your names?" Lin Feng asked indifferently. The two of them knelt on the ground, and the cultivator on the left hurriedly said, reporting to the hall master, "This disciple's name is Shi Tao." The cultivator on the right hurriedly said, reporting to palace master, "This disciple's name is Lu San." That's right. You're both loyal and devoted to me, so I won't treat you unfairly. How about this? Both of you will take up the position of Vice Hall Master. Now, you're both Vice Hall Masters of the Mission Hall," Lin Feng said. After hearing Lin Feng's words, everyone was dumbfounded. The two cultivators were just ordinary deacons. If a deacon wanted to be promoted to Vice Hall Master, he had to first become a Grand Deacon. There were 42 Grand Deacons in the Mission Hall. After becoming a Grand Deacon, he would be qualified to compete for the position of Vice Hall Master when the position of Vice Hall Master was vacant. As for who could be Vice Hall Master, it was not up to the Hall Master to decide. The Hall Master had the right to make suggestions. However, this matter required a meeting between all the Hall Masters to determine the final quota. Lin Feng directly promoted Shi Tao and Lu San from ordinary deacons to Vice Hall Masters. Indeed, many people were dumbfounded. One of the Vice Hall Masters said, "Palace Master, you can't do that. The Dao Saint Palace has its own rules. There are clear rules on how one can be promoted. Moreover, each palace can only appoint 5 Vice Palace Masters. The Palace Master can't appoint a Vice Palace Master alone. Even if he could only appoint one." "There's such a rule?" Lin Feng asked indifferently. The Vice Hall Master quickly nodded and said, "Yes, Palace Master. The Dao Saint Palace values sect rules. Therefore, it's better not to violate the sect rules." Lin Feng smiled and said, Do you think I'm an ordinary hall master? Let me tell you, even if Wu Yazi, Bai Yindi, and Xia Yuanxiang were itinerant immortals, they would have to respectfully address me as fellow Taoist. I'm not an ordinary hall master. This matter is settled. Shi Tao and Lu Sun are officially appointed as vice hall masters of the mission hall. In the future, let the two of them handle everything. Also, you four vice hall masters, if you have any problems, report them to vice hall masters Shi Tao and Lu Senator. If there's nothing important, don't bother me. However, I don't usually come to the mission hall, so you can't bother me even if you want to. After hearing Lin Feng's words, many people could not help but roll their eyes. Lin Feng obviously wanted to be a hands-off boss. Although Lin Feng was the mission hall master, he did not seem to want to deal with the matters of the mission hall. Next, everyone looked at Shi Tao and Lu San with envy and jealousy. These two guys made the right bet when no one came out to support Lin Feng. The two of them came out and immediately soared to the sky with a single step. Until now, Shi Tao and Lu San still hadn't recovered from their shock. Because happiness came too suddenly, the two of them were caught off guard. Many people around them congratulated the two of them. Only then did the two of them come back to their senses and kneel on the ground to show their loyalty to Lin Feng. Get up. Be loyal to me in the future, and I won't mistreat you, Lin Feng said with a smile. Lin Feng, a mysterious person, had suddenly become the mission hall master. The entire Dao Saint Palace's upper echelons were paying attention to this matter, especially some of the other hall masters. There were a total of 108 responsibility halls in the Dao Saint Palace. The remaining 108 hall masters were also paying attention to Lin Feng's appointment. The responsibility halls referred to the mission hall, the enforcement hall, and other halls. These halls maintained the sex operations. There was an obvious difference between them and the other halls. The other halls referred to the halls where the powerful cultivators of the sect resided. Therefore, when the matter in the mission hall spread out, it instantly caused a huge uproar. Soon, the news spread out. Many of the responsibility hall's hall masters called for a meeting. Some of the hall masters wanted to remove Lin Feng from his position as the mission hall master. Some of the hall masters even wanted to punish Lin Feng. This matter caused an even bigger uproar. Soon, another piece of news spread out. It was said that Crown Prince Dijue had spoken. Therefore, those hall masters who had sided with Crown Prince Dijue had joined forces to deal with Lin Feng. Now that Crown Prince Dijue had made his move, in many people's opinion, this new mission hall master would be in trouble. After offending Dijue, it was very likely that he would die a tragic death. Chapter 4308. Xiaorushuan and Xiaoruyue had also heard about this matter. Therefore, both of them came to Lin Feng's place and told him that if the palace masters' meeting were to be held, they hoped that Lin Feng would take a step back. If he did so, he might be able to get a better view of things. This was because not all the palace masters were Crown Prince Dijue's men. If Lin Feng took a step back, he might be able to gain the sympathy of the other palace masters. Then, the other palace masters would help Lin Feng. Lin Feng naturally knew that Xiaorushuan and Xiaoruyue had good intentions. Lin Feng did not agree or reject them. He casually brushed them off with a few perfunctory words. Very soon, someone came to inform Lin Feng that the palace masters' meeting would be held at 8:00 in the morning and that Lin Feng should attend it on time. Lin Feng sent the person away. On the second day, Lin Feng headed to the meeting hall. When he arrived, there were already many people gathered there. When everyone saw Lin Feng's arrival, the hall that was originally filled with venting suddenly quietened down. For many of the palace masters, it was their first time seeing Lin Feng. Therefore, when they saw Lin Feng, these palace masters were more curious. When they realized that Lin Feng was so young, they were extremely shocked. Such a young cultivator was actually appointed as the palace master of the Mission Palace. Although the Mission Palace was not a particularly important palace, wasn't it too hasty to appoint such a young cultivator like Lin Feng as the palace master of the Mission Palace? Or perhaps, Lin Feng really had a powerful background? However, no matter how powerful his background was, it could not be more powerful than Dijue, right? Although Zhang Moyang, whom Lin Feng had crippled, was not considered a big shot, The key was that Zhang Moyang was Dijue's man. Moreover, Zhang Moyang had even mentioned Dijue's name. However, Lin Feng still did not let Zhang Moyang off. Obviously, Lin Feng did not give Dijue any face. Dijue's character was gloomy. Anyone who dared to disobey or offend him would not have a good ending. Since Lin Feng dared to touch Dijue's men, Dijue would naturally not let Lin Feng off. Haha, I'm sorry to have kept everyone waiting, Lin Feng said with a faint smile. Although he said sorry, he didn't mean it at all. Lin Feng found a seat and sat down. At this moment, one of the hall masters said, "Now that everyone is here, let's cut to the chase." Many people nodded. Everyone was busy, so they naturally wouldn't waste time. A hall master called Gongsun Long stood up. He looked coldly at Lin Feng and said, "Hall Master Lin, do you know your crime?" Gongsun Long was a subimmortal and was highly regarded by Diju. He took the initiative to attack Lin Feng. The show is about to begin. Many neutral hall masters could not help but think to themselves as they waited for a good show to start. They couldn't figure out Lin Feng's background. However, Lin Feng was so young. He had just joined the Dao Saint Palace, but he was already able to become the mission hall master. It was obvious that he had a strong background. In the end, Lin Feng might really end up dead. However, if he clashed with Dijue, it might end up with both of them suffering heavy injuries. This was the outcome that everyone wanted to see the most. Lin Feng raised his eyelids. He didn't even look at Gongsun Long. He said, "What crime have I committed? What a joke. Who do you think you are? Do you think you can punish me with just a sentence? Why don't you take a piss and look at yourself in the mirror?" Upon hearing Lin Feng's words, many of the hall masters' mouths twitched violently. Lin Feng was really arrogant. A young cultivator. A new hall master. He actually dared to provoke an experienced hall master. He was simply audacious to the extreme. Everyone felt that Lin Feng must have someone backing him up. Perhaps there was someone backing him up. That was why Lin Feng was so daring. However, so what if he had someone backing him up? Even if he had someone backing him up, he still wouldn't be able to defeat the crown prince, Dijue. Gongsun Long looked coldly at Lin Feng and said, "Dealing with people above the rank of Deputy Hall Master requires a meeting of the Hall Masters to discuss and decide. You personally removed Deputy Hall Master Zhang Moyang. This is your first crime. You only have the right to propose the appointment of a Deputy Hall Master. You don't have the right to appoint him. The appointment of a Deputy Hall Master also requires a meeting of the Hall Masters. You actually appointed a Deputy Hall Master privately. This is your second crime. There are only 5 Deputy Hall Masters in each palace. However, you arbitrarily added one more person and changed the rules left behind by your ancestors. This is your third crime. You just became a Hall Master, but you ignored the rules of the sect and committed 3 major crimes. How can someone like you be qualified to be a Hall Master? Therefore, I suggest that you remove your position as Hall Master. At the same time, you have to be punished for violating the rules of the sect and harming your fellow disciples. Are you done?" Lin Feng was speechless as he looked at Gongsun Long. This fellow was really good at finding fault with people. He was simply picking bones from eggs. Even if he did not commit any crimes, he could still come up with a few. Gongsun Long snorted coldly. He did not pay any attention to Lin Feng. Instead, he looked at the others. "Hall Masters, I have said what I wanted to say. Now, I suggest that Lin Feng be removed from his position as Mission Hall Master. At the same time, he should be locked up in the heavenly prison and be judged on another day. Those who agree with my suggestion, please raise your hand." After Gongsun Long finished speaking, one by one, the Hall Masters raised their hands. Although not all of the Hall Masters who raised their hands were on Dijue's side, however, there were definitely some Hall Masters who were on Dijue's side. There were also some neutral Hall Masters who could not figure out Lin Feng's background. Therefore, they decided to wait and see. There are a total of 55 people who agree. More than half of them agree. Lin Feng, do you have anything else to say? Gongsun Long looked at Lin Feng with a complacent gaze. In his opinion, Lin Feng was done for this time. Lin Feng said indifferently, "I want to say that the Hall Masters who voted to convict me are a bunch of trash." When Lin Feng said these words, the entire hall fell silent. Everyone had an expression of disbelief on their faces. Many of them even wondered if they had heard wrongly. Lin Feng, he actually dared to say that the hall masters who voted to convict him were trash. This was no longer something that could be described as arrogant. He was simply courting death. He had offended so many hall masters at once. He really did not know how to spell the word death. Brat, what did you say? Many hall masters looked at Lin Feng with unfriendly gazes. I said, among the people here, the hall masters who voted to convict me are all trash. Why? Don't you understand human language? It must have been hard on you. After all, you are transformed from a monster. It is normal that you did not evolve well. I take back what I said earlier. I should not have discriminated against a retard like you. Lin Feng said indifferently. Many people laughed bitterly. They had seen all kinds of people, but this was the first time they had seen someone as arrogant as Lin Feng. Brat, you have committed 3 major crimes. You are no longer the mission hall master. How dare you mock me? You are offending your superiors. I will cripple you right now. The hall master who was mocked by Lin Feng stood up and walked toward Lin Feng. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Boom. He attacked. Endless demonic energy spread out. The hall master threw a punch at Lin Feng. He wanted to break Lin Feng's meridians and cripple Lin Feng's cultivation. Chapter 4309. The hall master who attacked was called Zhang Liming. His original body was a dark demonic lizard. He was extremely powerful, and among the many hall masters, he was an existence that no one dared to provoke. He had long since submitted to the crown prince, Di Jue. He was one of Di Jue's senior figures. The power of his fist was too great, causing many of the temple masters to be secretly shocked. In their opinion, Lin Feng was in danger facing Zhang Liming's attack. Kneel. Just as Zhang Liming's attack was about to hit Lin Feng suddenly shouted. A powerful aura surged out from him. It directly pressed down on Zhang Liming. Lin Feng's aura was too terrifying. It instantly destroyed Zhang Liming's divine ability. Then, it suppressed Zhang Liming. Thump, thump, 2 consecutive sounds. Zhang Liming's body could not withstand the powerful aura emitted from Lin Feng's body. He directly knelt on the ground. What's going on? When they saw this scene, everyone was completely dumbfounded. With Zhang Liming's powerful cultivation, he actually could not withstand the aura emitted from Lin Feng's body. Wasn't this too inconceivable? Lin Feng was so young, but he was already so terrifying? This is impossible. This is absolutely impossible. Zhang Liming let out a series of angry roars. He struggled violently, but it was useless. With his cultivation, he could not break free from Lin Feng's suppression. Zhang Liming's eyes turned blood red. In front of so many hall masters, he was actually suppressed in an instant. Moreover, he was forced to kneel in front of Lin Feng. This was a great humiliation. This was simply a great humiliation. Zhang Liming had never suffered such a great humiliation before. Currently, Zhang Liming's hatred for Lin Feng could not be washed away even with all the water in the 5 lakes and 4 seas. Brat, you're no longer the hall master of the mission hall. How dare you be so presumptuous? Damn it. Take this brat down and hand him over to the crown prince. Another palace master stood up and shouted coldly. Obviously, he was also one of Di Jue's men. As soon as his voice fell, more than a dozen hall masters immediately responded. These hall masters saw that Lin Feng was not to be trifled with, so they wanted to work together to deal with Lin Feng. More than a dozen palace masters rushed towards Lin Feng. All of you, kneel as well. Lin Feng coldly looked at the dozen hall masters. With a cold shout, a powerful force surged out once again. This time, it suppressed the dozen hall masters. Thump, thump, thump. None of the hall masters could withstand the terrifying pressure emanating from Lin Feng's body. They immediately knelt on the ground. More than a dozen palace masters knelt beside Lin Feng. Oh my God, is this real? The corners of the other hall masters' mouths could not help but twitch violently. The scene before their eyes was simply too shocking. The weaker palace masters were at the Emperor realm, while the stronger ones were at the subimmortal realm. With such a powerful cultivation, even the aura emanating from Lin Feng's body could not withstand it. How powerful was Lin Feng? Many people's hearts were in a mess. I've said it before. In my eyes, all of you are just a bunch of trash. Trash like you. You want to punish me for my crimes? What a joke. Even if Kong Mingdao came, he would not dare to punish me. Who do you think you are? You don't have any self-awareness at all. Lin Feng was still as arrogant as ever as he loudly cursed at the hall masters. They were all high and mighty existences, but in front of Lin Feng, they were called trash. Many of them were gnashing their teeth in hatred. However, when they saw how terrifying Lin Feng was, how could they dare to refute Lin Feng? They would only be humiliating themselves. I don't think there's any need to continue today's meeting. As for you trash, continue to kneel. After 10 days and 10 nights, I'll return you your freedom, Lin Feng said indifferently. When they heard Lin Feng's words, the hall masters almost vomited blood. With their status, kneeling on the ground for 10 days and 10 nights? Would they still have the face to continue staying in the Dao Saint Palace? At that time, they would definitely become the laughingstock of the Dao Saint Palace. Brother Lin, what made you so angry? Why is fellow Taoist Lin so angry? At this moment, a voice suddenly came from the void. In the next moment, Kong Mingdao walked out of the void. Kong Mingdao was in charge of running the Dao Saint Palace. As for the other two human immortals, they were not interested in power. They spent most of their time cultivating. My lord, when they saw Kong Mingdao, the hall masters hurriedly got up and bowed to him. Lin Feng smiled and said, I only crippled a vice hall master who dared to offend me, and then appointed 2 new vice hall masters. These people want to strip me of my position as mission hall master and even punish me for my crimes. These trash don't know their place. What a joke. Today, I'll teach them a lesson and let them know that there are some people they can't afford to offend. Many people sighed. Lin Feng did not hold back in front of Kong Mingdao. His personality was a little too arrogant. They wondered how Kong Mingdao would deal with Lin Feng. However, when they heard Kong Mingdao call Lin Feng Brother Lin, many people were shocked. How strong was Lin Feng's cultivation level? Kong Mingdao called him fellow Taoist? In fact, the rules of the Dao Saint Palace only restricted ordinary people. The top experts were naturally not restricted. If Lin Feng was one of those top experts, he would naturally not be restricted by the rules of the Dao Saint Palace. Kong Mingdao looked at Lin Feng and said, I was in seclusion before, so I didn't know what happened at the hall masters meeting. If I had known, today's incident would not have happened. Brother Lin, since you've vented your anger, why don't you let these hall masters go? After all, they are the upper echelons of the Dao Saint Palace. If news of a group of people kneeling on the ground for 10 days and 10 nights gets out, the Dao Saint Palace will become a laughing stock. Kong Mingdao was a sly old fox, so no one could guess what he was thinking. However, since Kong Mingdao had pleaded for leniency, they had to give him face. Lin Feng waved his hand and the aura suppressing these people dissipated. He said, a bunch of trash. I'm only sparing you today because of my lord. If you dare to jump around in front of me again, even if the heavens come pleading for you, it'll be useless. When had the group of hall masters ever been humiliated like this? All of them were filled with hatred. They could not wait to cut Lin Feng into pieces. However, these hall masters only dared to think about it in their hearts and did not dare to act on it at all. Lin Feng did not continue to stay there and left with Kong Mingdao. When the two of them parted outside the hall, Kong Mingdao frowned slightly. He felt that Lin Feng was really a troublemaker. However, when he thought of how arrogant and domineering Lin Feng was and how he did not know how to endure, Kong Mingdao could not help but look down on Lin Feng even more. He even felt that the Heavenway infinite diagram scheming against Lin Feng was completely unnecessary. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.